or the dead camel, whatsoever condition you find it in, you have to move with wisdom, and you cannot shirk the task. So I have two things that I would love us to cover. The first, Pastor Percival, has to do with each citizen's duty to disclose knowledge of wrongdoing.
And interesting, now you have a whistleblower act.
Absolutely. So, and it was born out of just a chance conversation I had on the weekend with someone to whom I was saying there is a duty on persons who come into the possession of knowledge of wrongdoing to disclose it. And that duty exists regardless of your duties of confidentiality to whomever employ you and give you access to the knowledge. It exists despite the existence of the Secrecy Act. If you're a government official who come into possession of certain knowledge, it don't matter how you come into possession of it, If you're the cleaning lady who's very bright and love read things and you pass the desk and see something, it does not matter how you come into possession of this knowledge. If it is knowledge pertaining to the commission of an offense in certain areas, in all areas, but if it is knowledge of an offense, you now have a pipeline to get that information into the right hands, other than to the news media who will treat it as a breaking story and try to shame people out of the corners.
Shame people out of the corners.
Yeah. But beside that, there's now a duty. It's not just well, I think the duty always existed, but the safe ways in which you could do it were not plentiful.
More emerging.
Now you have the anti-corruption initiative and hotline launched by the government itself. The police are manning it. MOCA. You have that. You have the Protected Disclosure Act, which should at least lead to the Integrity Commission.
We spoke about that, remember? The disclosure,
and
the whistleblowing.
Yeah. So we want to talk about that. What it means, because a lot of persons might be thinking, how am I really free to speak, to say what I know? That's one. The other issue that I want us to put squarely in line now, and they are complementary. As we are looking at what our civic responsibilities are at this time and how hard we need to push to break the back of something that has, this is a stronghold that has held Jamaica in its grasp for decades. I would say decades, because those of us who see Jamaica coming into her own in 1962 would say we're entering our 7th decade and we're not carrying it with us. Some might say it is for centuries, because Jamaica was in existence before 1962 and there were some things, it was the same pattern, I believe, of, well, obviously it was because we had colonial rulers, and it meant that we were not truly in possession of even our own God-given rights.
That's true.
So there's some things that we're not going to allow them to steal it and steal away our future. So now that the SSL thing has broken, now that we are fairly confident without fear of contradiction that a lot of persons who should have done better dropped the ball, dropped the catch, as one writer called it in one of the weekend papers, that both administrations of government dropped the catch. SSL spanned 2 administrations.
Drop the ball. They never take the catch.
They didn't take the catch. He said drop the catch. Or maybe they fumbled it. It come in your hand and then you drop it.
Yeah, drop the catch.
So now we know that this thing spanned 2 administrations. We don't need to be trying to figure out if it's a JLP problem or a PNP problem. It's a Jamaica problem.
And
if when we look at it that way, it means all of us, outside government and inside government, who know something and who can see the recurring decimal characters, because I think it's the same set of people.
It goes back to your
usual suspects.
The usual. I like how the usual
Yeah,
suspects.
I know it's them.
And it's true, you know.
Share what you know.
It's
and,
important.
And don't let those who fear political backlash or economic fallout or whatever it is that they might be giving as a reason to brush it under the carpet, don't let them brush it under the carpet. In truth lies your salvation.
That's true. And I don't know.
So the other issue, let me just
The other issue,
the other thing I want to deal with, I got a rather remarkable letter from a certain high priest, and I've been going through it, and if he's listening, he knows. And I want to speak on it because there is a duty again on those who are messengers of a high order to deliver their message effectively. I'm going to come at it from a question that Christ answered when the mother of Zebedee's 2 boys brought the 2 big men to Jesus and said, allow one to sit on the left and the other one on the right.
Power grass.
This morning I dramatized it for Lowell. He has to put up with my dramatics. I said, I can just imagine the mother saying, what the 2 of you doing with this man all the time? And spending all of the time there, quit the job that your father had worked so hard to set him up in fishing. And then the 2 of you just dropped the thing and gone round with this man. What is it that is going on there? I want grandchildren, you know. And I just imagine the mother saying to the boys, what are you doing? And the boy saying to, well, mom, you know, he's building a government and, you know, we are going to be in it. We are on the ground floor. This is a first mover opportunity. And she said, oh, that is rubbish. You all ask him what position you 2 going to have in this new government? And the boys looking at each other like, oh, we couldn't ask the rabbi that. And she said, well, I'll ask him. And because mothers are special from generation to generation,
Rebecca.
She marched the 2 of them. Absolutely. Jewish mothers apparently are exceptionally powerful. Perhaps they're like African mothers. She marched them to the rabbi and said, can these 2 have left and right? His answer is what attracted my attention, because he went on to give that parable about the first and the last. He spoke in a parable about the first and the last.
About what it is that causes people to be leaders.
And he, in that brief exchange, he spoke to that eternal characteristic of leadership. If you put yourself up to be representative of the people, it means you are a servant to the people. You are not to lord it over them. The reason that he said no to the request, obviously, because he said it's not mine to give.
And I think that we're not willing
but are you willing to go through what I have to go through? Can you drink the cup?
That I'm going to
Of course, the boy said yes. They have no idea what the cup is, but they know that they would die for. Well, they said they would die for the rabbi. Well, they didn't. I mean, the disciples scattered when it came down to it. Not even Peter would own up to being one of the rabbi's followers.
They died.
But they all did bite the dust. Yeah. So leaders, and I'm not telling you that you're going to die tomorrow. You must die eventually. But the point of it is, those in positions of leadership must always remember, it is not for them to lord it over those that they lead. It is for them to be a servant, and it is for them to be willing to die. Whether it is dying your reputation, physically die because while you're leading a march somebody shoot you or carry you down, whatever it might be, you must come at it with that commitment. So in this time of SSL, I hear some very encouraging statements sounding like the 2 boys, John and his brother, that they're willing to. I hear Minister of Finance saying, we're going to give you the truth no matter what. I hear the Prime Minister saying the same thing. We will spare no expense. In fact, as he was saying, they are not bailing out any failed institution that get into that condition because of negligence or fraud. As he was saying that, he was saying, we will spare no expense in getting to the truth, to the bottom of it. And they have invited independent third parties who have great interest, guys, for them currency. The FBI, they've invited in. so they say, and they've invited other
Or the FBI,
other countries
the FBI
with their
invite
law
themselves
enforcement resources. The FBI, you couldn't keep the FBI out of this party at all. They would write their own invitation to this one.
They're gonna crash the party.
They would crash the party. So we are hearing persons saying we are committed to the truth and we are committed to transparency and we are not going to be cheap in getting to the bottom of things. We're hearing those sentiments. Can they drink the cup?
Can they
When
follow
you
through?
get a report that leads a glaring trail to people that to whom you're connected,
You're very
who you
closely
know,
connected. Mhm.
absolutely. When you get that information, will you have the courage to act on it? Because that is the cup of leadership
Cup of servanthood.
and the cup of servanthood. So those are my two issues. I mean, they're big issues, so naturally we can spend some time on it.
You know, but I want to go back to the first one,
Yes.
which speaks to, as we call, it's a call to arms, you know, for us as Jamaicans, whether we like it or not. A call to take responsibility for what is happening and to understand that the real solutions lie within us. The real solutions are there. We see a lot of things happening. Mocha now it has come out of police, and it is staffed by police and soldiers and people, but they act as it were independent of it. That's why they've set up this hotline.
Yeah, I want to repeat some of the information about it. So
Yeah, man. So
That's
in
one
doing
of
it,
my-
and I interacted with somebody who is one of the directors with it, and he says, "No, man, we are not police anymore. We're independent. So if you know anything," he said, so
speak it.
do not fear anything, for I am with you. Do not be afraid, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. Be assured I will help you. I will certainly take hold of you with my righteous right and a hand of justice, of power, of victory, of salvation. That is Isaiah 41:10. So the underpinning, do not be afraid. Because God says if you are on the side of justice, of right, He's going to extend to you, take hold of you with His righteous right hand, which is a hand of justice, of power, of victory, of salvation.
So again, that's one of the expression of the Holy Spirit.
Yes.
When He says to us, it is not by your might or by your power, it will be by my Spirit, Spirit of God. One of the expressions of the Spirit is the fear of God. When you have the fear of God, you have no place for the fear of man.
Yeah.
Because all you're thinking is, Lord, if I don't do what is right in your sight, my soul is lost. So when you fear Him who can deal with your soul and your body, above the one who can only deal with your body. Yeah, you might lose your job. You might find yourself in one form of legal dispute or another. But ultimately, as Percival shared, there is a promise that when you are doing the right thing, you'll be protected. So just to remind Jamaicans about this hotline, the National Crime Prevention Fund, chaired by Miss Sandra Glasgow, they are the financiers behind the MOCA initiative to create a channel for persons to call in tips. You remember we have the other one that deals with murder or whatever, crimes.
Crime, yeah.
Yeah,
Crime Stop.
Crime Stop, funded by. So this is not taxpayers' money being used to fund police receiving tips about government workers or other persons. I'm saying give it a chance, feel confident to use it to get whatever information you need to get in. There are many citizens out there who know something. The reward when you call this line with your tip range from $10,000 to $1 million. So here it is. You who know who has what hidden where. It does not matter how you came to the knowledge of it. This is not a situation where you have to be anxious about giving your photograph and your TRN and showing up in court. They have their ways of protecting your identity so that you can share the information, and if that information bears fruit, you can be rewarded. Now, a lot of us are so angry at those who betray our trust all the time that I'm sure the idea that you could be rewarded for sharing something that burning in your stomach and you really want to get rid of it ought to give you a little push to share what you know. The country's first anti-corruption tip line, it is 888 MOCA TIP, 888 MOCA TIP. And it was recently launched. It was launched on the 9th of December last year, a little Christmas gift to Jamaica. It gives members of the public an opportunity to make reports related to public sector corruption. Now, it means any public sector employee, high of government official who you know, either you see them or somebody close to you see them, you have credible information that they are involved in something which represents a breach of trust with the public. And if you are in doubt as to what represents a breach of trust, take a look at those 7 principles which the Integrity Commission has put forward for the code of conduct to guide our public officers. You must know when you see a public official in the middle of some transaction or situation that is giving him an advantage over and above you, the citizen, that you know from the appearance of things that he is acting in breach of his duties. Now, I don't, without giving raw examples, I can't take it any further, but if you're in doubt, share the information anyway. Don't be the judge and jury on it. Once you see something, please say something. We need to get into that mode now of calling it out. And where you used to be afraid that the man too powerful or the woman is too well connected, call the line 888 MOCA TIP. Share what you know. So the first type of activity is public sector corruption. Persons used to call us in the early days and tell us who owned vehicle in some project that government should not be involved in, who buy up all the garbage truck and take private contract. There are all kinds of little things you know that it's wrong, it ought not to be so. Here's your opportunity. Call. Let's put it to the test. A lot of times we say we don't trust them because the police just as bad, or we have every kind of excuse. Put the system to the test. And then call us and tell us if you are confident or satisfied that things are being acted on. Remember, sometimes it's not that it will actually might not produce a conviction, but just the fact of the investigation will slow down other people who have similar ideas and can bring about a relief. So let me rush through them before we take the break.
The code of conduct.
Public sector corruption, organized crime, lottery scamming, and they say other serious crimes. We're going to come back to it when we return from our 7 o'clock break.
Okay.
Talking about transportation, transporting the past, the present, and the future generation. Whether taxi, private vehicle, or bike, your 2 bicycle wheel, them are a hike. Listen up, pick up on a young or your old. Up on the bus, cause we are on the road.
The goal of achieving safety in the traffic environment is a task the Ministry of Transport and Mining will not relent on. Portfolio Minister Audley Shaw stressed this point during his address at the inaugural meeting of the Jamaica Caribbean Jam Carib Youth Network for Road Safety held recently. The Youth Network for Road Safety was established by Transport Operators Development Sustainable Services TODS to engage some 5,000 young people in the Caribbean in designing, developing and implementing programs and projects aimed at promoting road safety. Delivering the keynote keynote address at the event, Mr. Shaw noted that road crashes are placing a heavy burden on the nation and causing a significant amount of trauma to families.
Road traffic crashes and deaths are routine occurrences around the world, especially in lower and middle income countries. Ladies and gentlemen, every day thousands of youths lose their lives in road crashes all over the world. Road traffic injuries place an enormous burden on the country's economic and healthcare systems, especially where young people constitute a major part of the population. With this meeting, it is vital to engage youths in road safety policy design and implementation.
The minister says that with more than 480 persons losing their lives in 2022 due to road crashes, too many productive young people who had their whole lives ahead of them are dying. Road users under the age of 29 account for the highest number of fatalities among all age groups.
More young people aged between 15 and 29 are dying from road crashes than other diseases. This means road crashes are a serious threat to our future, no matter where in the world we reside. Statistics from the Road Safety Unit reveal that in 2022, 170 children and young adults 0 to 29 died from lung 45 crashes in Jamaica. For the age group 0 to 29, males accounted for 84% of deaths, females 16%. As you've heard before, motorcyclists accounted for 42% of the road users in the under 29 age category.
Westmoreland accounted for 11% of all road users in the under 29 category who died in crashes last year.
When we lose these young lives, it is not the families that suffer alone. We also suffer as a nation. The pain and grief is a powerful driving force to help to prevent similar devastation and grief to other families.
Statistics from the Road Safety Unit, the RSU, further reveal that the main causes of crashes are excessive speeding, drivers failing to keep to the correct side of the roadway or overtaking inappropriately, and pedestrian error. The minister said Jamaica will only see fewer road fatalities if all road users adapt behavioral change and discipline.
We have a duty to our young people to preserve them on the roads, at school, and in our homes. Therefore, road safety requires a comprehensive, combined approach from every Jamaican to ensure that lives are not lost. We must remember that the faster we drive motor vehicles, the longer they will take to stop and the greater the impact of the collision. I urge all motorists, motorcyclists, pedal cyclists and pedestrians to use the roads defensively and drive for others as well as yourself. The onus is on all of us as road users to ensure that we are alert, patient, and responsible when we use the roads.
Minister of Transport and Mining, Audley Shaw. And that's where we're going to let it out for the word this week. I am Jeremy Lee Nelson, and until next time, you could ride bike, drive taxi, bus or truck. Stay safe, remember to pay your traffic ticket them, and go on, go do road.
A production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.
Half a tree, one and drive, half a tree. Bossy, how you do I take taxi star?
Jano, I want to tell you say, 2 months now my transmission mash up, and me check everybody and can't hear nothing positive.
You hear me? You waste all that time I shop down and never call the experts. Winters Auto have them. Them have over 35 years of experience and them diagnose the problem and get back your transmission brand new. For them service excellent and efficient. Trust me, man. You hear me? Call them at 929-7040 or go to them at 106 Maxfield Avenue, Kingston 13 and talk directly to the boss. Just tell them I'm me send you.
You big star. Yeah, man, respect my boss.
Yeah, try calling, cause trust me.
Centers Auto Spares and Repairs. Good afternoon.
What a relief.
What should a taxi service do for you? On-time taxi service is more than just a ride to the other side of town. They offer clean and spacious vehicles, reliable service, and promise to always look out for their customers. They'll come when you call and take you where you want to go on time.
From anywhere at all, you can call us on 926-3866.
We are something special on the road.
Veteran Printers for all your printing needs. We specialize in calendars, flyers, brochures, and more. Call us today at 968-7506. That's 968-7506. Or visit us at 4 East Bloomsbury Road, off Haggard Park Road. Veteran Printers, your best choice in printing.
For a better choice in all your electrical supplies, A. Authorized 3M dealer and better brand names. B. Better service including free island-wide delivery. C. All major credit and debit cards accepted. It's ABC Electrical Sales. Shop number 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10. Open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. We make your electrical jobs as easy as ABC. Call 754-3825-8 or fax 754-3659. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice.
Praise the Lord, praise the Lord. God is good. This is already Pastor and friend Reverend Simon Peter Jones, inviting you, my friends, to listen every Tuesday evening on Bess100 FM at 7:30 p.m. for the program The Voice of Hope, as we extend hope to the hopeless in this dying world. God is good. Be encouraged. Hope is in the Lord.
Hey, what's up? It's your girl, Lady Lee, the Queen of the South, and I'm inviting you all to trailblaze with me on the best of the best radio station, the Bess100 FM, Mondays through Thursdays, 2 to 5 p.m. You can't afford to miss it on your airwaves. Yes, trailblaze with Lady Lee right here, Mondays to Thursdays, 2 to 5 p.m. on the best of the best, Bess100 FM.
Jamaica, we're going up and not under. No more slaves any longer. We were once weak, but now we are stronger, stronger, stronger. Join me, Darren Chosen Smith, Mondays to Thursdays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. inside Lifted, right here on Bess100 FM, 100.1 to 100.9 FM. Tune in and be informed, motivated, entertained, and spiritually lifted. Your weekdays will never be the same again. Mondays to Thursdays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. inside Lifted on Bess100 FM, 100.1 to 100.9 FM with yours truly, Darren Chosen Smith. Tune in and be lifted.
Bess100 FM is the authentic voice of Jamaica, promoting your prosperity with better vibes and better music. Let us promote your goods and services for you. Advertise with us. For more information, call our office at 876-276-8935. That's 276-8935.
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minett and Percy, on the Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Bess100 FM.
It's good, it's better, but nothing beats.
Yes. So, Lord.
Wow. But it is well.
No, Percy, you were going to refresh our memories on the seven principles.
It is well. It
that
shall
govern.
be well.
Yeah.
But these are the 7 principles that the Integrity Commission had put out there. So the 7 principles: selflessness. Holders of public office should act solely in terms of the public interest. They should not do so in order to gain financial or other material benefit for themselves, their family, or friends. 2. integrity. Holders of public office should not place themselves under any financial or other obligation to individuals or organizations that might seek to encourage improper behavior in the performance of their official duties. Objectivity. In carrying out public business, including making public appointments, awarding contracts, or recommending individuals for rewards and benefits, holders of public office should make choices based on merit. Accountability. Holders of public office are accountable for their decisions and actions to the public and must submit themselves to whatever scrutiny is appropriate to their office. 5. Openness. Holders of public office should be open as possible about the decisions and actions that they take. They should give reasons for their decisions and resist information only when the wider public interest clearly demands. Honesty. Holders of public office have a duty to declare any private interest relating to their public duties and to take steps to resolve any conflicts arising in a way that protects the public interest. Finally, leadership. Holders of public office should promote and support these principles by leadership and examples. And I like the 7 principles of public life that they've invited our leaders. That means all political holders of political office. But you know what it means? If you are gonna serve on a board, then you're in the public domain, whether you come from the private. So these principles, I believe, should apply.
Yeah, they're not unique to that relationship. And I think it is such that even if all we do is just allow them to gain some resonance with our spirit, it will influence our behavior in terms of how we act in our personal affairs. And it gives you a fresh perspective through which you look at how people are behaving in carrying out their duties. So those are principles that were not crafted for politicians or for public officials.
For everybody.
Those are basic principles that all of us should observe. What I like about thank you, Percy. That reminder is necessary for you to shape now how you look back at things that you already know, things you're seeing. One of the good things about fraud and investigations and so on, it don't matter how old the information is.
Can be used.
It can be useful. That's why, the police keep a stew pot of rumors and gossip and whatever on anybody who is of interest to them, because you never know, it can lead you somewhere. So whatever you know, rewards range from $10,000 to $1 million. Now that's about public sector corruption, but they also have organized crime. You, with the information you have, you just have one little piece. You don't know if it is part of a bigger system. Don't despise or disparage your own knowledge. Just understand that in this join up world, everything is connected. So if you know something about somebody who have somebody said we need a law against unexplained wealth.
Yes.
If you see something happening that really, makes you curious, don't put yourself in danger. It's better you share the information and let the right people look at it. I know, for example, do you know, when I started my own private practice, I used to get audited like every 2 years. Just listen, man, they never make the 2 years end good. With the 18 months, I'm getting visits. And I get my house in order. And one day in frustration, I said, come on now, this is no coincidence. I've only been in practice whatever number of years on my own. I know people who been practicing 20 years and they have never had a visit from the tax authorities. Why are you visiting me so often? How is it that you're coming to me? somebody had mercy on me and, well, took pity on me. It wasn't mercy. And explained to me. They said, one, we get tips. Did you know? People... And I noticed a certain trend. Every time a certain company paid me, I'd get a visit.
Okay.
Later on, it became clear. I got the information I needed. But you have enemies all kinds of places, or just people who grudgeful. Every time I got a check from a certain company, within short order, my GCT, my statutories were being audited. So they get tips. And the second is they watch the newspaper. And if they see your name in the papers, they say, oh, you're a big lawyer you have. And so I was getting audited with frequency. So it's not a new thing for persons to call in information. So whatever it is that you know, I must say that all of that interest in my tax affairs made me very tax compliant.
Yeah, good for
so
you.
it have positive effects in your own affairs.
You pointed out a principle that I don't want us to miss.
Yes.
The little small thing that you say that you know, that the thing, no man, this is inconsequential. Listen to this. Do not despise. Whoever has despised the day of small things shall rejoice. The small thing that you know is going to remove the big mountain that is out there, and not by man, not by power, but by
Spirit,
says the Lord. The small will no longer be small. Who are you, a great mountain? Before you shall become a plain.
Yes.
So it's the small things then.
It's the little things. And you see all that SSL thing, when the FSC saw that they were not making their reports, you're not filing your reports on time.
Small thing.
Small thing. Small thing. You probe it, it's like a termite infested place. You touch one spot and your finger cut through the wall, you lean on it and the whole house pop down. So here is an opportunity for those who know something to take some action, and when you see it unraveling, you can have the satisfaction of knowing that all this that you see being pulled down, it came because one people all over the place spoke the truth about what they know. We're not saying make up stories now and terrorize people. Speak the truth about what you know.
Important.
And it's, as I said, we're not hammering home corrupt government officials. That's one of your favorites, but it certainly applies to other things like organized crime. They have targeted lottery scamming, but lottery scamming is just fraud.
That's what it is.
Obtaining money under some false pretense. It's the same. Fraud is fraud. Lottery scamming is making us look very bad in the public eyes, in the American eyes. But right here in Jamaica, a lot of things are happening which in the area of fraud, and the hotline is inviting you to say what you know. We're going to look at I'm going to pull up the Protected Disclosures Act, because that act has been passed. There are some provisions in it which I think are being considered for amendment, but it is good for you to know that there are statutory provisions now in place to cover you when you want to speak about what you know. The Protected Disclosures Act relates to things happening in the private sector as well. And all of this is part and parcel of civil society cultivating an environment in which persons can be given easy opportunities to speak the truth about wrongdoing. So much of our public life and private life is mired in secrecy and shoving things under the carpet and not living lives of integrity. Whether it is philandering man, deceitful woman. I remember not so long ago there was a lot of talk about children, the paternity of children being one of the greatest source of domestic discord. So much so one parliamentarian was proposing that all children at birth should be given a DNA test so the man could know it sooner than later. But the point I'm making is a lack of integrity in our personal affairs is as damaging to the moral fabric of the whole country as it is to your personal relationship.
It does, because he says he requires truth in the inward parts. And remember, a prime example of somebody in power was David and Bathsheba. And what he did, he was what? An accessory to murder. And what was the other thing?
He wasn't an accessory. He was the mastermind.
Oh, you need to explain to me the legal terms between. So he would have, in today's court of law, would have been charged with what? They would have been charged with what?
Procuring murder.
Okay, so
murder. He'd have been charged with murder.
Okay.
And the way he got it done was by procuring a third party to do it. And interestingly, who was the head of the army? Was it Joab? The head of the army commander who carried out the instruction would have got a certificate from the minister indemnifying against because he carried out an order lawfully given to him by his commander.
Okay.
Put him in the hottest part of the battle, and while he is there occupied, withdraw your troops.
Yeah. Interesting. And that's why I'm saying when a lot of people rail against the Bible and say, my man write it. If man was writing and I wanted them God to look good, you want to put that in there. Yeah. And then it comes out and they said, David was a man after God's own heart. Because it comes back to the heart when he was confronted by the prophet and who gave him the story. He said, I mean? I really mean? And he had absolute power that as some guys did, they kill off the prophet then, but he responded in the right manner, which I think with what is happening presently, and we continue to pray for Mr. Tomlin. So when that information goes out, because him know him work, are we going to deal with it rightly and let the chips fall where they must?
Yeah. The political ones are saying, whatever comes out, we're dealing with it. That's what they say. And they say it with full knowledge that SSL is umbilically connected to the JLP. They say it knowing that. So that's why I tell you, I was very heartened by the words that I was hearing. And Jamaicans should push and hold those leaders to their word. You cannot get out of it because it is a disaster for everybody. He who tries to save his life will lose it. So if you're trying to keep your political stripes and your political household intact, and you sacrifice principles of truth and honesty,
integrity,
accountability to cover up things that need to be dealt with, you're gonna lose your house.
You're gonna lose everything. So and you're gonna be judged.
And you're gonna be judged and found wanting. So we need to also pray for our Prime Minister, for the Minister of Finance.
Yes.
I see him looking shell-shocked. Because understand now, he's new to the party compared to some other more mature ones.
Some of the neophytes have been there long.
So, I mean, maybe when he was in short pants, some of the
but it's not a joke. It's true.
Were already seasoned in what they're doing.
It's true.
So he may have come in genuinely believing that it's not a house of cards, it have great substance. And only to discover that, what? This is beyond me. And now they want me to hold it together. I pray that he be strengthened in his moral fiber to do the right thing. I believe he comes from a lineage, a pedigree that should perform at a higher level of integrity than he may find himself faced with some choices that are unpalatable. But there's a place of wisdom and strength that he can draw on, and I think that he could be the next Prime Minister if he does the right thing. Just show himself to be worthy of some level of trust. Similarly, the Prime Minister said he will spare no expense, and one of the things that, we know, the information, once you begin to follow it,
Follow the money trail.
Once you begin to follow the trail, it's going to lead you to places, and you cannot be disturbed in your spirit where it takes you. You have to do the right thing. And they do have the FBI and others in it. I don't know. The American government is a strange creature when it's ready. Because it is America first, and you can't fault them for that, they may see some advantage to sweeping things under the rug too, under the guise of not wanting to be seen as destabilizing the economy of Jamaica, wanting to have friends in high places when they want to twist our arms in some unpalatable direction or another. So the truth of the matter is, we can trust the FBI to be a part of finding the truth. But when it comes down to what decisions should be taken with the information you have, it is very much Jamaica's call, unless there is something in it that the FBI said, extradite this one for me, give me this one. This one has run its time.
You know, that's what's going to happen, right?
Yeah. I'm saying all these things, I'm putting them into the atmosphere.
Yeah.
So you who hear it, just know that in truth is everybody's salvation. When you know that it's already out there, you don't have to hide, you don't have to be afraid that you're going to lose your work, they're gonna call that loan or whatever other pressure tactic might be there. When you know that it's out there, deal with it. Listen to me, man. There's a place where you get the strength to handle those things. Protected Disclosures Act. Act number 3 of 2011. Been on the books for a while, you know. Yep. Signed on the 8th of March 2011 by the Governor General.
Which one is that?
This is the Protected Disclosures Act that the Governor General, Patrick Chin. Patrick Allen. Patrick Chin.
Oh, so long he's been Governor General?
From 2011, yes. Governor, that is one of those cushy jobs that you stay in. And
can I be Governor General?
Well, we don't need them anymore.
I'm going to become a republic soon by 2024. Yes.
Yeah, but you could try to be president.
Well, not such.
So I'm just reminding you now about the Protected Disclosures Act. When I was looking at it, I was very drawn to there are some provisions that pertain to persons whose disclosure may cause them to be in breach of a law or a contractual commitment. So, for example, you work in the receiver's office, or you work in the minister's office, or you work in the prime minister's office, and through no fault of your own, your eyes cast to a document. It may be an invoice, it may be a report that was left there with something underlined, and when you read it, you realize that, oh, this information that people are denying that they knew, or people are anything. I'm just kind of making stuff up as I go now to stimulate your imagination. You realize that this is something of importance. This needs to be addressed. There is a place that you can take it. Now, I found that the procedure for receiving information by the Integrity Commission was a bit frightening, to be honest. I thought, ooh, these people want you to swear out statements and affidavits, and you're trying to make a report about the CEO or the minister or something. That's a tall order. I didn't feel that it was inviting. But now, that hotline which Mocha has set up can be an alternative for those persons who felt that the requirements under the Act were too onerous. The disclosures that are protected under the Act: disclosure of information made by an employee regarding any conduct of an employer, of that employer, or another employee of the employer, where the employee has reasonable belief that the information disclosed shows or tends to show that improper conduct has occurred, is occurring, or is likely to occur, and that is the meaning of disclosure. I've repeated it for you to know that it covers information of something that is happening, is about to happen, or has happened. So it can be old news, current news, or just something you see about to happen down the road. And if you notice, it says improper conduct. They don't say crime. It says improper conduct. So you don't have to stress yourself about whether or not it rises to the level. Nobody's asking you to be a lawyer to know what are the elements of a crime.
Okay.
But it requires you to be a person of integrity who understands proper conduct and improper conduct. That's such a low bar. It captures anything you know.
True.
So
it's a good way.
Absolutely. The other thing about it is you can be an employee, which means you don't have to be, you can be, the information can be about your employer. It can be about another employee of the employer. And that was one of my complaints about it, that it spoke about employee. But it does cover persons who come into the knowledge through a relationship. So you don't have to show your paycheck or your pay slip to qualify as someone
to speak.
Turning in the information. Now this is under the Protected Disclosures Act. Under the MOCA one, you just need to be a person with information because the information is given anonymously.
And then they can research to see if it is credible. Right. And it is time for the break.
I think they've taken the break.
Half a tree, one and drive, half a tree. Bossy, how you do I take taxi star?
Jano, I want to tell you say, 2 months now my transmission mash up, and me check everybody and can't hear nothing positive.
Yeah, hear me? You waste all that time I shop around and never call the experts. Winters Auto have them. Them have over 35 years of experience and them diagnose the problem and get back your transmission brand new. For them service excellent and efficient. Trust me, man. Yeah, hear me? Call them at 929-7040 or go to them at 106 Maxfield Avenue, Kingston 13 and talk directly to the boss. Just tell them I'm me send you.
You big star. Yeah, man, respect my boss.
Yeah, try calling her, cause trust me.
Waiters Auto Spares and Repairs, good afternoon.
What a relief.
What should a taxi service do for you? On-time taxi service is more than just a ride to the other side of town. They offer clean and spacious vehicles, reliable service, and promise to always look out for their customers. They'll come when you call and take you where you want to go on time.
Need a cab from anywhere at all. You can call us on 926-3866.
We are something special on the road.
Veteran Printers for all your printing needs. We specialize in calendars, flyers, brochures, and more. Call us today at 968-7506. That's 968-7506. Or visit us at 4 East Bloomsbury Road, off Haggard Park Road. Veteran Printers, your best choice in printing.
For a better choice in all your electrical supplies, A, authorized 3M dealer and better brand names. B, better service including free island-wide delivery. C, all major credit and debit cards accepted. It's ABC Electrical Sales. Shop number 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10. Open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. We make your electrical jobs as easy as ABC. Call 754-3825-8 or fax 754-3659. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice.
Praise the Lord, praise the Lord. God is good. This is already pastor and friend Reverend Simon Peter Jones, inviting you, my friends, to listen every Tuesday evening on Bess100 FM at 7:30 p.m. for the program The Voice of Hope, as we extend hope to the hopeless in this dying world. God is good. Be encouraged. Hope is in
Jamaica Jamaica, we're going up and not under. No more slaves any longer. We were once weak, but now we are stronger, stronger, stronger. Join me, Darren Chosen Smith, Mondays to Thursdays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. inside Lifted, right here on Bess100 FM, 100.1 to 100.9 FM. Tune in and be informed, motivated, entertained, and spiritually lifted. Your weekdays will never be the same again. Mondays to Thursdays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. inside Lifted on Bess100 FM, 100.1 to 100.9 FM. With yours truly, Darren Chosen Smith. Tune in and be lifted.
Bess100 FM is the authentic voice of Jamaica, promoting your prosperity with better vibes and better music. Let us promote your goods and services for you. Advertise with us. For more information, call our office at 876-276-8935. That's 276-8935.
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minett and Percy, on The Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Bess100 FM.
It's good, it's better, but nothing beats.
Good morning and welcome back. We're doing some kind of schoolroom this morning. It's very important that as we're going through this, Jamaicans understand the role which we can play in bringing ourselves out of this on the right side. Major point is recognize that there is something you can do. If you know something, this is the time to say something. And it's been made so much easier for us now because not only do we have the Protected Disclosure Act, which can allow persons who are in a place of employment and come in contact with information of improper conduct that is relevant to thrashing out some of these issues that are very much a part of the governance or the lack of good governance in the country. But we now have a tip line. What is it? 888-888 Mocha tip.
What does that mean?
This is the
number. We didn't remember. 888.
Oh, you could could find it out. But I think persons will remember Mocha tip.
Mm-hmm.
It's you don't have to pay for it, so you can't say me never have no credit. It's painless. All it requires is for you to say what you know about improper conduct. For the tip line, they say it is to report on corruption, high official, government corruption, high or low, organized crime, lottery scamming, and other major crimes. But just to give you a solid foundation in what it is that you are free to report on, I am taking you to the Protected Disclosures Act. It was passed in 2011. The current Governor General is the man who signed it into effect on the 8th of March 2011. And it covers disclosures that pertain to improper conduct. Improper conduct is given a meaning in the act, and there are some parts of it that are you need to know how broad the thing is set. There's no excuse for you to say, well, what I know don't seem to fit in any. Improper conduct is the lowest level you could get to when people say, tell me what you know. A criminal offense, these are how improper conduct is defined in the law. It means any criminal offense, any failure to carry out a legal obligation. So, for example, you work with Windalco, and you are the man who has been sending them memos about the 400 head of cattle. You are the one who keeps saying the feed is running out, give me budget. You are the one who, it means you know something. They had a legal obligation, a legal or moral, oh my goodness. There's no, they had an obligation to do something about the care and safety of those animals, which they did not do. If you know that, because there's talk in the media, reported talk, that some action is to be taken. A recommendation has been made for action to be taken against Windalco for the abuse of those animals. And you know how it came about. They never just forget them. How are you going to forget 400 head of cattle? And we talk about predial larceny. Can you imagine? They're hardworking farmers who can't keep their animals safe. And 400 head of cattle. It would have been a merciful act. Yeah. It would have been a merciful act if somebody did go and carry off 2 of those emaciated creatures, feed them, nurse them back to life, and then, anyway. So if you know that of a failure to carry out a legal obligation, report it. Conduct that is likely to result in a miscarriage of justice. This is not just unfairness. Suppose, for example, you work in the court office and there is a file that keeps disappearing, and you know the room where the files go. Every time the thing to come to court, the file disappear. And you see and know how it is going. And you know that this is going to result in a miscarriage of justice because somebody is losing their day in court, or it is. Say what you know. Conduct that is likely to threaten the health or safety of a person. This can range from, but you see how broad it is, Percy?
Mm-hmm.
You work in a doctor's office. For example, the nurses in those public hospitals that are so dirty, making you look as if you don't know how to sterilize equipment and so on. But you well know that every time you ask for something, there is a person who block it.
Yes.
Or when it come, there's somebody who siphon it off to another place. Say something that threatens the health and safety of many persons. But here, even one person would be enough.
Serious.
Conduct that is likely to threaten or damage the environment. This now is all the garbage piling up. You see all you have knowledge. Come on, I'm just giving examples. Conduct that shows gross mismanagement, impropriety, or misconduct in the carrying out of any activity that involves the use of public funds. Now, this is like the supervisor who constantly want to take money from, let me call it the petty cash, without doing proper invoicing and so on and so forth, resulting in things like the health ministry being called up to explain 400 million? 400 million of expenditure that now have no proper documentation. You know that there's somebody who is in the habit. Say what you know. Act of reprisal against or victimization of an employee. You are that HR manager to whom the GM or some director has made a request that you take this one off that duty, put that one because
or that shift them around.
Whatever it is. And this is the way, when you look at it, it shows you the way that you in the conduct of your job have to remain conscious of why certain requests come to you. It's not just because you're the person to do it. You now have to be looking at behind the heart and the motive of certain things that come to you that give you concern. And it's telling you here that it's no longer the okay thing to say, put it in writing. The correct thing is to put a stop to that type of behavior. It has lifted the bar, But you see, this again is another act of might and power. This is man trying to do godly things without God. But all these principles, as you hear me enunciate them, all these principles come from a very righteous place. Why aren't they working? We know why.
Are they not working?
Conduct that tends to show unfair discrimination on the basis of gender, race, place of origin, social class, color, religion, or political opinion. All of you interview the candidates, and at the end of the day, the number one candidate, you're told, make the offer to number two. And when you say, but number one scored the best, yes, but number one
politically connected.
Yes, is green or orange or whatever it might be. And the last one is willful concealment of any act described in paragraphs A to H, which I just read.
I mean, you hide it.
You hide it. Deliberately, you say, put that away.
Put that in a file,
or
put it in a place. Like
so now we come to Minister Nigel Clark's denial that a report delivered to his office was delivered to him.
But all of the paper trail indicated that it was deposited to his office, stamp receive, and he said no see it.
Right. So now his assistant, who knows that she gave it to him, put it in her hand. Put it in the folder that, every executive have a for your attention folder. She knows she put it in the folder. But you know what? I sent a letter to the minister when COVID had tightened its grip on the country and students couldn't get online and the carousel network was sitting idle. I sent a letter to the minister, and when I didn't hear from him within a reasonable time, I contacted his assistant, and I still have the email, and possibly I may have contacted her by text message as well. I contacted his assistant, and the assistant told me I have put it on his desk.
The letter?
The letter, yes. I wrote a letter to the minister, as I did to the ministry. I sent it to, I think he was the chairman of some committee that was overseeing. I'm going to show you the letter in the break. I sent the letter. I did not hear from him. I followed up. I spoke with his assistant. The assistant told me what she did, because I was saying, has he seen it? I'm trying to make sure. And she said, yes, I put it on his desk, blah, blah, blah. Never got even received your mail, but your proposal is not welcome at this time. Or received your mail, but we have made other arrangements. Not even an acknowledgement. So it looked like it is entirely possible that things can be in the minister's office, be on his desk, be in a place for him to see it, and him don't see it.
And it speaks to those principles, those 7 principles: accountability, openness, fairness. And I'm saying, because that has happened to me now, I was
you sent him a letter too?
No, not him. No, another ministry, and I kept sent an email. They told me when I spoke to the person, all right, this is what you need to do. This is the procedure. And close to a month of calling, following up, and then I don't hear anything. I said, this don't make no sense. So I had to switch and do something else. And I'm saying to myself, wow, really? It was a request that was being made. Just respond and say, at this point in time, we're not going to, we cannot facilitate that. But don't lead me and let me thinking, hey, it's all right, that's a great thing.
That's what you thought by the silence? Yeah, that it was a great thing?
Yeah, I think, come on.
Percy. I wouldn't have thought that they think it's a great thing by not answering. All right. Let me show you the letter, Percy, in case. I've just pulled it up. The letter is dated May 21, 2020. It is addressed to the chairman, COVID-19 Economic Recovery Task Force. It was sent by email. And in it, I introduced Carousel, because remember, he wasn't the minister at the time when certain things were. Was he?
No, it was.
Who was Minister of Finance when Carousel was being gutted?
The
Shaw. Mr. Shaw. I explained about Carousel having all these equipment sitting down. Let me see what else I was telling him. I was making the proposal that the Carousel assets be put into service for the benefit of the students. I wrote, the current pandemic has exposed the massive deficiencies in the existing telecommunications infrastructure and the limited availability of affordable products and services to critical sectors such as health and education. In some areas, services are completely unavailable or significantly unreliable. The the precarious financial position of one major telecommunications carrier and the highly publicized failure of the other incumbent carrier to invest in network expansion and improvements over the last 3 years has created a heightened state of urgency locally and throughout the region. These were established facts that were being talked about in the media. You know, I wasn't bad talking Digicel and Flow. I was speaking. You remember in those days, Flow couldn't put any more money in the ground. Digicel was in bankruptcy in one part of its business and so on. So this is me writing now, you know, in all my righteousness. Trade unions, educational institutions, health and public safety institutions, financial institutions, and private business enterprises are unanimous in their appeal for affordable, reliable, and ubiquitous telecommunication services that will promote and ease economic and social recovery in the post-COVID-19 era. Carousel was built by Jamaican citizens who believe that sustainable national development requires the deployment and use of modern technology across all commercial, social, and productive sectors with the deliberate objective of stimulating growth and increased revenues. See, I'm very professional in writing to this man.
The bottom line is,
the Carousel network assets are currently lying idle while citizens of Jamaica suffer. Our students are anxiously preparing to write local and regional examinations. Small business owners are getting to it. Even telling him that I wasn't looking to revive the company Carousel. I just wanted them to put the assets to use. So it wouldn't be boxed up and because eventually this was before no, this is after they had come in with their guns, because this is in May. So can you imagine, after that trauma, I was still saying, okay, yeah, the country did all of this, but the government did all of this, but in the end, it's the country that suffers. Let's see what we can make out of the ashes. I wrote it. I sent it to every single member of the COVID-19 Economic Recovery Task Force that I could find, but it was specifically addressed to the chairman,
the chief minister,
Mr. Nigel Clark. Never answered me. So you see, Jamaica, it would not be the first time that something
goes into the minister's
that is of importance to the public go into his office and him don't see it, or him not respond to it. Say he hasn't seen it.
When
I don't believe him. That's my personal opinion, and you can see why. That's why I went and found my own letter to him, addressed to him, which his assistant, and I can even have her name, assured me she had put on his desk. Never got an answer. So should I assume that since he never answered me, he never see it? No. Which is what he would want us to believe regarding the FSC's report.
No, but you see, they just continue to dig a hole.
Lord, so you can close your eye and say, you know, see something. You know, like those children? When they close their eye, they believe that the world has disappeared.
Yes.
If I'm not seeing it, it don't exist. You know how it came out that it was in his office. I guess maybe somebody from the FSC said, but we sent it to you. And then the man actually came out and made a statement that it has been shown to him that it was in his office, but he didn't actually see it. Yeah,
it has been shown to him.
Yeah, I can remember saying no, see it, you know. He didn't know it was there. So his statement is that he has now seen, or it's been disclosed, that the document was in the minister's office, but then he never saw it.
So you must believe now.
Godly wisdom, counsel of God, and see, like my personal experience with him now, it was in his office. And it's not even me that signed it, because at that time I thought my signature might infuriate. So it was Lowell's anointed signature that was on it. You remember Lowell?
But look at this. Clark will disclose in a
op-ed on Saturday
that the 2019 examination of SSL had reportedly been unreviewed and buried in the cabinets of the finance ministry since
2020.
Has received flack
from the opposition for being derelict. So here what happened. I suspect that my letter is right beside the FSC report. that was buried because he's from 22. He's from 2020.
but if he's saying
no laughing matter, Minett.
Yeah, but if he's saying that, disclose it. The report is there because you see, my mother always tell me,
What your mother always tell you?
Talk the truth every time. Because it's when you speak the truth, you don't have to remember what you say because it's gonna come back. And then you see how we started investigating. Remember, and we went to see in 2021 the bills that needed to be passed, and you said, but you were wondering why is it that
why did they have that act?
Yeah.
But special resolution of financial
and then
institutions
one of the
act.
FSC directors and FSC commissioners.
One of the new commissioner was
is a guy who was receiving those proposals or
the submissions.
Yes.
And oh yes, we shouldn't forget that. We're trying to piece it together for you. Please try and keep those pieces in your thoughts, because the government was very much on a path. This government, this Minister Nigel Clark, was on a path along with the Prime Minister to introduce a piece of legislation to address when financial institutions like SSL fail. How do you throw a blanket over them and resuscitate them? They were very much doing consultations and preparing to take a piece of legislation to Parliament to deal with matters such as what has happened with SSL. Why were they doing that? And how could they have done it with any integrity without the FSC bringing to the table actual ongoing experience with an entity such as SSL? And all of that was happening in the same time period.
Yeah, in 2017.
In 2017.
Because it's the same time that they were asking people to respond.
During that time, SSL was under some special management.
Yes,
so they must have had. You're not going to go into legislation like that without contemplating the imminence of your needing it.
Yeah.
But I accept that things like the ZOZOs and the SOEs and so on have pushed a number of things to the backbench, but the knowledge is there.
Yeah, see there?
So we see
April 14, 2017, and the person was Mr. Lewis. So Lewis is now one of the commissioners there.
Yeah. We see the outgoing executive director of the FSC on the front page of the Gleaner looking very distressed. I mean, they caught him just at the right moment. And we can tell that they're trying to make him into a scapegoat. But he even if you have to go off in the wilderness, which you have...
He'll get in severance.
Yeah. Well, he's going off in the wilderness with some water and supplies. But you're no scapegoat. You're not carrying the sins of Israel.
No, it's not.
No. They're staying right here to be dealt with. So they're trying to shift or keep our eyes locked on the FSC. But if you lock your eyes on the FSC, you can't miss the minister and the whole apparatus of government.
The election of duty.
Yeah.
And then he tried to say it's not a JLP problem, it's a PNP and JLP, and he went to outline how long this been going on. But the fact is, and somebody was speaking about it in a commentary, that they have to deal with it now. They have to deal with it now. They have to take responsibility for what it is happening now. It's under their watch.
But yes, you're on the spot, and this idea of taking responsibility is something that Jamaicans have to get. We have to broaden our understanding of it. It begins with saying, I am responsible.
And I was wrong.
And I will fix it.
Yes. And somebody
you
saying
can't take responsibility by being silent on the issue of responsibility, which is what we're all trying to do here. The minister is trying to say he'll fix it, but he's not responsible for it.
You remember
so
that?
So what you going to fix?
Yeah. If I don't own up, because you know what I've discovered as we come up to our 8 o'clock break, is that even in the process of somebody comes and says that there's a problem I need to deal with, the first thing that needs to happen is to take responsibility for what is happening, because the only way I can facilitate you being restored or being healed or whatever. So if you don't do that, we're not going to do it. It's not going to happen. Wow.
All right, let's take the break, and when you come back, I will give you the numbers that you're supposed to call, because for some reason they keep disappearing from this side of the studio. Let's take our break.
You're simply the best. Better than all the rest. Better than anyone. Anyone ever met. You're simply the best.
Bess FM 100.5 on your dial. Keep listening.
This is Danielle Yarowiecka with the BBC News. Hello. An attack on a mosque in the Pakistani city of Peshawar has killed at least 32 people and injured 150 others. Officials say a bomber sitting in the front row blew himself up, destroying a section of the building located in a police district. Dozens of people have been taken to hospitals. The BBC's Tahab Asghar is in Islamabad.
The major question that is being raised right now is the point that this mosque was where the major offices were present. Interior Ministry office for KPK government is there, and a police line was there. So there are 2 tier of security check. The suicide bomber has to go through those 2 security posts to reach that mosque.
Palestinian officials say Israeli forces have shot dead a Palestinian man at a West Bank checkpoint just hours before the US Secretary of State Antony Blinken is due to arrive in Israel. On Thursday, 10 Palestinians were shot dead, and on Friday, 7 Israelis were killed outside a synagogue. Mr. Blinken said he would be discussing the violence with both sides.
There is no question that this is a very difficult moment. We've seen the horrific terrorist attacks in recent days. We've seen over many months rising violence that is affecting so many. As you heard very clearly, the condemnation from the United States of the terrorist attacks, the President, the Vice President, myself, and we deplore overall the loss of innocent civilian life.
Russia has accused Boris Johnson of lying when he said that Vladimir Putin threatened him personally. The two men had a phone conversation just before Russia invaded Ukraine, during which the former Prime Minister claims Mr. Putin said it would only take a minute to hurt him with a missile. From Moscow, here's Steve Rosenberg.
The Kremlin was categorical in its denial of Boris Johnson's dramatic claim that Vladimir Putin had threatened him with a missile strike. President Putin's spokesman, Dmitry Peskov, said this: "It's not true, or to be more accurate, it's a lie. Either a deliberate falsehood," he continued, "or an accidental one, from not understanding what the president was saying." A firm denial then. But that doesn't alter the fact that in recent months the Kremlin has been engaged in nuclear saber-rattling. After ordering the invasion of Ukraine, President Putin warned countries that may try to interfere that Russia's response would be immediate and lead to consequences never seen before in history.
The NATO chief Jens Stoltenberg says North Korea is supplying weapons to Wagner mercenaries who are helping Russian forces in Ukraine. Mr. Stoltenberg told the BBC he had very precise intelligence. The North has denied the claim. You're listening to the World News from the BBC. The Red Cross Federation publishes its annual World Disasters Report today, a look at how we coped with unexpected catastrophes and how we can better prepare for them in the future. Although 2022 saw a number of natural disasters, the Red Cross focuses on one overriding concern, the disaster of COVID-19. Imogen Folks has more from Geneva.
The Red Cross highlights COVID-19 as the biggest disaster in living memory. The pandemic has claimed at least 6.5 million lives. Industries have been devastated and jobs lost. No earthquake or hurricane, the Red Cross points out, has ever caused such massive damage. The report highlights how badly prepared the world was. There was glaring inequality over access to treatment and vaccines.
Protesters in Indonesia have demonstrated outside Sweden's embassy in Jakarta to show their anger at the burning of the Quran by a far-right Swedish politician. The protesters called for a boycott of all things Swedish. The Quran was burned just over a week ago in Stockholm. The president-elect of the Czech Republic will speak later to Taiwan's president, a move seen as a strong statement about his foreign policy. Percival was only voted into office at the weekend, and many countries avoid high-level contacts with Taiwan for fear of angering China. A former teacher accused of abusing pupils at boarding schools in Scotland during the 1960s and 70s has been arrested in South Africa. The 83-year-old, who can't be named for legal reasons, is fighting extradition. A former Japanese soldier who was sexually harassed during her time in the army is suing the perpetrators and the government. Rina Gonoy said she was taking legal action because those behind the attacks had shown only superficial remorse. 5 male soldiers have been discharged over the case. BBC World News.
Veteran Printers for all your printing needs. We specialize in calendars, flyers, brochures, and more. Call us today at 968-7506. That's 968-7506. Or visit us at 4 East Bloomsbury Road, off Haggard Park Road. Veteran Printers, your best choice in printing.
Looking to clean your vehicle super clean? 123 Clean Car Wash, located at 2 1/4 Osborne Road, Kingston 10. Entrance on Grove Road, below Tropical Battery. They wash and vacuum, undercarriage wash, engine wash, polish and compound, shampoo and detailing. Call them at 876-631-3400. 123 Clean Car Wash, the best in the business for a cleaner wash.
1, 2, 3, believe me, it's so easy. 1, 2, 3.
Half a tree, one and drive, half a tree. Bossy, how you do I take taxi start?
Jano, I want to tell you, say, at 2 months now, my transmission mash up, and I check everybody and can't hear nothing positive.
Yeah, hear me? You waste all that time I shop you and never call the experts. Winters Auto FM. Them have over 35 years of experience and them diagnose the problem and get back your transmission brand new. For them service excellent and efficient. Trust me, man. Yeah, hear me? Call them at 929-7040 or go to them at 106 Maxfield Avenue, Kingston 13 and talk directly to the boss. Just tell them I'm me send you.
You big star. Yeah, man, respect my boss.
Yeah, try calling cause trust me.
Waiters Auto Spares and Repairs, good afternoon.
What a relief.
For a better choice in all your electrical supplies, A, authorized 3M dealer and better brand names. B, better service including free island-wide delivery. C, all major credit and debit cards accepted. It's ABC Electrical Sales. Shop number 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10. Open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. We make your electrical jobs as easy as ABC. Call 754-3825-8 or fax 754-3659. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice.
What should a taxi service do for you? On-time taxi service is more than just a ride to the other side of town. They offer clean and spacious vehicles, reliable service, and promise to always look out for their customers. They'll come when you call and take you where you want to go on time.
From anywhere at all, you can call us on 926-3866.
We are something special on the road. Praise the Lord, praise the Lord. God is good. This is your radio pastor and friend, Reverend Simon Peter Jones, inviting you, my friends, to listen every Tuesday evening on Bess100 FM at 7:30 p.m. for the program, The Voice of Hope, as we extend hope to the hopeless in this dying world. God is good. Be encouraged. Hope is in the land.
He's coming back. Yes, indeed, it's redemption time with Apostle Clive Campbell, presenting a life-changing, life-challenging message to encourage, inspire, and motivate you towards your destiny. Every Tuesday night from 9:30 p.m. until 12:30 a.m. and on Saturday from 9 o'clock until 10, right here on Bess100 FM. It's redemption time.
I'm standing firm.
Jamaica Jamaica, we're going up and not under. No more slaves any longer. We were once weak, but now we are stronger, stronger, stronger. Join me, Darren Chosen Smith, Mondays to Thursdays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. inside Lifted, right here on Bess100 FM, 100.1 to 100.9 FM. Tune in and be informed, motivated, entertained, and spiritually lifted. Your weekdays will never be the same again. Mondays to Thursdays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. inside Lifted on Bess100 FM, 100.1 to 100.9 FM with yours truly, Darren Chosen Smith. Tune in and be lifted.
Hey, what's up? It's your girl, Lady Lee, the queen of the South, and I'm inviting you all to trailblaze with me on the best of the best radio station, the Bess100 FM, Mondays through Thursdays, 2 to 5 p.m. You can't afford to miss it on your airwaves. Yes, trailblaze with Lady Lee right here, Mondays to Thursdays, 2 to 5 p.m. on the best of the best, Bess100 FM.
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minett and Percy, on The Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Bess100 FM.
Bess100 FM is the authentic voice of Jamaica, promoting your prosperity with better vibes and better music. Let us promote your goods and services for you. Advertise with us. For more information, call our office at 876-276-8935. That's 276-8935.
It's good, it's better, but nothing beats.
Good morning and welcome back, and a very, very special welcome to those who are about to join us in conversation.
Yes.
The numbers to call are 876-279-8473 and 876-619-1508.
And even as our first caller comes in, just want to acknowledge that Reggae Month was launched yesterday. And one of the things, it was a big service, over 400 people in attendance.
Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, good morning. To God be the glory.
Great things you have done.
Good morning. What a blessed morning.
Good morning.
Can I say morning to some people?
Oh, sure.
I want to say good morning to Mr. Shaw. Mr. Shaw, thank you for this medium. That's free to hear that we can speak and people hear our voice.
Sure.
Thank you, Pastor.
Yes, good morning,
Mr. Lawrence.
Good morning, my dear.
Good morning to Miss Minett.
Morning.
And,
your voice gone.
Usual good mornings to Mr. Morgan and Mr.
Yeah. Pastor, don't steal my turn. Mr. Fly Green, good morning, sir. Memories don't live like people do, and on no movements there. Remember that, sir. Mr. Nestor Morgan, good morning to Minister of Misinformation. Good morning to the Finance Minister. Good morning to the Prime Minister. Good morning also to the Minister of Security. Good morning. Members don't live like people do. I remember an announcer on a radio station when they went for a certain gentleman, he and his friend, and she was quite disturbed and upset. And she said, did the DPP sign the nolly? So she called the DPP, did you sign that nolly? Because if you don't sign that nolly, they couldn't go for him. Oh, what a tangle web they weep when they see to deceive. I'm telling you something. God is watching. You sit tired and look low. We just come out of 14 days of fasting. Result must come.
Yes.
Must. MUSC must. Him not slack towards promise. And him give a commandment to keep. So, remember that. And you see Karma, I always ask her how she do it, because she's something else. Karma. She's something else. And Miss Pant, and I can't call her name because she's out there in the public.
Yes.
She become an actress now. The movie called Taking People Money, and then we walk with a walker and then to the wheelchair. We don't know where it ends. So, that's it. Mary Daly, good morning to you. Pat yourself in the back, lady. That's my piece for today.
All right. Karma. I just wrote karma. All right, thank you. Good morning and welcome to the Morning Connection.
Good morning, President. Good morning to my lady.
Good morning.
Enlighten. How are you, sir?
Good morning, Pastor. Boy, I'm here, man. I'm here. The chicken has come home to the roost.
What you say? Camels on the horizon?
Yes. Why? Look like sometimes everything seems a prophet. So yeah. This revelation by the Ministry of Finance. When I heard it, I couldn't believe. The man, a letter was sent to the man, and the man said never get the letter, and he never read it or something like that.
It was buried under some other things in the place where, yeah.
So how can we trust a man like that now? If it's some important, remember, that organization that he has in charge of, oversight of, that's supposed to report to him.
Mm-hmm.
That's very important. Department in our organization.
Major ministry right next to the Prime Minister's office itself.
Right. And if somebody can have important thing like a letter from the FCC, something like
SC.
can come to your desk and you ignore it or whatever, and then you come out now and can cause the whole financial sector to collapse. The man shall go send a letter to the government and this man has to be relieved of his duty.
Yes. Yeah.
But we in this country, we don't take nothing serious, man.
Well, we're putting it out there, my brother.
That should exactly what happened this morning. The first thing this man we shall hear on the news is that the Minister of Finance has resigned his position.
Mm-hmm. Or like they did with the FSC man, or has been relieved of his duties, was asked to resign.
Yes, that's serious thing, That's serious thing, And this government, is a bunch of. When you look at the cabinet and I don't know.
We're looking at the Protected Disclosures Act, which talks about persons having the ability now and getting protection if they report improper conduct. And the last one they put is willful concealment. So if you have knowledge of that place where things go for for deniability, because there's a thing amongst politicians where you leave the room or you look the other way or you don't say it in my presence, because when the day comes I want to say I never knew, I never saw it. So now word come out that the report was very much sent to the Minister of Finance.
And duly received, and stamped, and everything recorded that it came in.
And then you get it was here and hidden under some other things. I never saw it. You're right. In a more serious society, that person couldn't even come out and admit that. Somebody else would be saying it. Somebody else would be saying the Minister of Finance has been relieved of his duties because it has been undercovered that.
But if he was in a different society, he wouldn't be bold enough to come out and say something like that.
Resign quietly.
And somebody else would be saying it.
Yes, that's correct.
Harry wouldn't make such a statement.
Yeah.
But because he knows that he lives in a society that he can make any type of statement and anything and nothing happen.
Yeah, that's changing though, I firmly believe and I declare that in the heavenlies. That's what we're doing with the context and the platform that God has given us. We are declaring no it will no longer be that way. And I remember 2 weeks ago when it broke and we were covering it, remember, I was praying. It was a morning I was praying, and I said resignation is going to begin to happen. One down, more to come. And we declared, people need to step aside, man.
Another minister, I'm watching Mahayan, you know. The Minister of Agriculture keep on telling the nation that we have the production in the agricultural sector is ice in our history. But I don't know if you my lady go to the market. When you go to the market, the price of food, the price of yam is over nearly $300.
$300 a pound for yellow yam?
Right, yeah man. Nearly, sometimes $250. 200, 250. Tomato, upscale and 250 and all them type of things. So if we have the highest amount of production in our history, how is it that prices are so high? I went to the market in December with Christmas, and I had to walk almost to the market to find a few pounds of sweet potato. So I don't know where is this glut that the minister talked about. I remember a couple years ago, under the late Roger Clark, they had a glut that people were feeding food, tomatoes and all them things to pigs, because there was a glut on the market. You could get tomato for almost $15 and $10 a pound. So where is this glut that is talking? Where is the highest production in the history of this country? And we all know that in time production is high, prices come down.
That's how it works, yes.
Yeah.
So Jamaica, it's either we are set of idiots in this country, led by the news media that is not, nobody asking when a man come out and make all his statement and nobody not query it.
Investigation.
Man. Well, you say we have the highest amount of production in our history. And when you go and market, you can a few little pound of cabbage, you say, few little pound of tomato, you say, few little pound of carrot. Me go to the market, you know. I don't know if anybody go to the market, but me go to the market, and when me go to the market, me not just buy, you know, me look around.
You walk around, yeah, man.
See what is going on, you know. When I go to the supermarket, I look around and see what is going on. That when I talk, you know, I can talk with some amount of clarity and some amount of truthfulness, you know. But people, it's like people just walk and them not say no at all. That's why these men can come out and talk all this kind of thing and it just turn a 9-day wonder and nobody will say anything.
And it's interesting that you say that, you know, my brother. A friend of mine said it to me, and he said, is this SSL thing going to become a 9-day wonder for us? Because he was referring to the fact that remember the Klansman court case?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the 2021 anti-gang law, and then the infamous Pastor Kevin, and then the SSL case. Will it follow the same path of 9-day wonders? It will not.
Well, this one already passed 9 days.
Yeah, it's not a 9-day wonder because it's not going to go away.
It keeps delivering. It's not going away.
Maybe the only reason why this one falling in 9-day wonder category is because internationally, you know, it take an international favor, like you know, because of one individual who was involved in it. Maybe if he left away alone, boy, just fall. Because if he left away alone, would I hear them things? Because it's because internationally, it is. Remember, you know, we couldn't convict do this in this country, you know. America, we have to send them away, you know.
Okay.
So we're doing a very poor job.
Yeah.
In this country.
Well, whatever the cause of its longevity, we need to take advantage of it. And just remember now that it is every man's responsibility to do the best he can when it is his time.
Yeah,
and don't shirk our responsibility. Yeah.
These individuals
accountable.
Accountable.
Yes. So I appreciate your call and your focus, because you're one of those who've been, saying the same thing consistently.
Because we have some spinners in the media,
Mm-hmm.
We have
doctors.
We have a spinner who come up on a program, and she said this man is the best in sliced bread,
Which man?
I have to call her one day. I call her one day and tell her, I said, boy, I don't know, the West Indies selectors not looking good at all. How them allow her to be out here and them don't select.
And they go selector to play for the West Indies cricket team.
West Indies cricket. We have some spinners that, man, they would do very well, but I don't know what the selectors, why they're not selecting them.
Did you both just switch to cricket?
You have a guy named Dennis Strongman, one of the best spin bowlers in the West Indies in the Caribbean, man.
All right. We have another caller waiting, so we have to go cut the cricket analysis.
Right,
Thanks very much for your call.
All right, okay.
Good morning and welcome to the Morning Connection.
Morning.
Good morning.
Morning, sir.
Morning, Pastor. I'm on to the Bess FM-2. You got yourself Rashwi and me here already on motor. But, and I see your slope Minett.
Yes.
These traffic tickets being paid, these massive people, these bag of people going down to the traffic court. Mm-hmm. Can you tell me these money, where these money go? Is it go towards
consolidated fund?
It got to fix road. Where this money go?
No, it goes into the consolidated fund.
It goes in the consolidated fund.
Okay.
Yes, and so that's the all-purpose.
Where the gas tax money go, Minett? Where the gas tax money go?
What you do?
Where the land tax money go? What is the purpose of the land tax or gas tax? Is it these money are there to specific area? Because no road on the front, we have no road to drive on night and mash up a front end, and then we have to buy one engine mode by the 45,000 plus stock. And obviously the government give these people all these powers, so obviously the government immensely. Where are these money go? Is it going to the after the partition based on the fact that the continuous thieving?
Well, obviously we lose tax dollars to corruption, but the consolidated fund, which is dealt with in the Constitution, is your all-purpose account for general expenditures. But we know that even if the government outlines a policy of using property tax to cover the expenses that arise in relation to keeping the environment in good order and so on, we know that even trust funds are not safe. Right. NHT is a trust, yet we have seen billions taken from it to boost expenditures for the consolidated fund. So your questions go to the heart of the governance structures that are in our country, and even the way accountability is handled, where you could have a government that would say to you, we collected so much dollars for gas tax or for any of the ones you mentioned, property tax, and this is how we spent it relative to the areas that gave rise to that collection. So you could see some relationship between the infrastructure that you enjoy and the taxes that you pay. Maybe if the government treated it that way, you would find people have less discontent concerning certain things, because they would know that, we only collected $10, so we can't expect a $20 treatment. These are issues that when we come to look at governance and constitutional reform and overall how we deal with representational politics, these are issues that we should bring up and that we should address.
This country can't continue so much. Every day something is.
Yeah.
I mean, where is the private sector now to be our vanguard, apart from they are just into the money to say, Prime Minister, no. As well, the thing they said a while ago, the cost of living, who is it? Who is the vanguard for the Jamaican people? Minett, they ask you that over and over, the road, the garbage, where this money go? We go like a fingerprint there, the Express 6,000. Where are these money go?
Oh, that is a big one.
License.
This is a big one in government now to to allow expedited service. Things that shouldn't take so long in the first place. Now they create an incentive for greater inefficiency by giving you the opportunity to get an expedited service.
Yeah.
And the next thing, Pastor Minett,
yes.
The government create this thing with this, and for the traffic ticket. The crime, what is the government doing about the crime now? You see, the crime just ignore too much people die already, and you set up system like the COVID. People comply. This traffic thing, when you go down the road, what is the government doing about the crime? Instead of having 20 police stop at your pharmacy giving out tickets, and next 20 over the clock, and next 20 over Jamaica National. What is the approach of these policemen dealing with crime, with thieving, the killing? Is it obvious that we found a police force to give decent law-abiding citizens ticket? I would just did not say none of that so obvious. Our lack is in this country. What are we? We can't rebel so we collect money and fast with them and not serve the purpose. We have policemen training and have them stand up and give ticket.
Well,
ticket. Get some people from school, man, train from the traffic one and have the police go out there and do it crime, man.
Okay.
You can't you train a man to be a baker and then you have him
yeah, man.
Let people from school and train to the traffic and if they think that we have camera, have the policemen them to fight crime.
We're in agreement with you. We agree, and we talk about it too. It's about governance. It's about dealing with the heart of the people and doing things that lift up the people. General, we are at our break, brother.
People life ticket more important than people life. Then you are out there collecting the almighty dollars. I don't know how much people want dead, and then I'm told
my brother, if we're getting the signal, we have the signal for a station break. Thank you.
My apology.
Half a tree, one and drive, half a tree. Bossy, how you do I take taxi star?
Jano, I want to tell you, say, at 2 months now, my transmission mash up, and me check everybody and can't hear nothing positive.
Yeah, hear me? You waste all that time I shop around and never call the experts. Winters Auto have them. Them have over 35 years of experience and them diagnose the problem and get back your transmission brand new. For them service excellent and efficient. Trust me, man. Yeah, hear me? Call them at 929-7040 or go to them at 106 Maxfield Avenue, Kingston 13 and talk directly to the boss. Just tell them I'm me send you.
Wow, you big star. Yeah, man, respect my boss.
Yeah, try and call cause trust me.
Auto Spares and Repairs, good afternoon.
What a relief.
What should a taxi service do for you? On-time taxi service is more than just a ride to the other side of town. They offer clean and spacious vehicles, reliable service, and promise to always look out for their customers. They'll come when you call and take you where you want to go on time.
From anywhere at all, you can call us on 926-3866.
We are something special on the road.
Veteran Printers for all your printing needs. We specialize in calendars, flyers, brochures, and more. Call us today at 968-7506. That's 968-7506. Or visit us at 4 East Bloomsbury Road, off Haggard Park Road. Veteran Printers, your best choice in printing.
Praise the Lord, praise the Lord. God is good. This is your radio pastor and friend, Reverend Simon Peter Jones, inviting you, my friends, to listen every Tuesday evening on Bess100 FM at 7:30 p.m. for the program, The Voice of Hope, as we extend hope to the hopeless in this dying world. God is good. Be encouraged. Hope is in.
Jamaica, we're going up and not under. No more slaves any longer. We were once weak, but now we are stronger, stronger, stronger. Join me, Darren Chosen Smith, Mondays to Thursdays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. inside Lifted, right here on Bess100 FM, 100.1 to 100.9 FM. Tune in and be informed, motivated, entertained, and spiritually lifted. Your weekdays will never be the same again. Mondays to Thursdays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. inside Lifted on Bess100 FM, 100.1 to 100.9 FM. With yours truly, Darren Chosen Smith. Tune in and be lifted.
Bess100 FM is the authentic voice of Jamaica, promoting your prosperity with better vibes and better music. Let us promote your goods and services for you. Advertise with us. For more information, call our office at 876-276-8935. That's 276-8935.
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minett and Percy, on The Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Bess100 FM.
It's good, it's better, but nothing beats.
Good morning, and thank you for holding. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Connection.
Africa love my sister. Give thanks.
Give thanks, Russ Gremlin.
Russ Gremlin, how are you, my brother?
I'm there, I am, you know. Mm-hmm. There, I am, you know what I mean? You know, listen to that call a while ago.
Yeah.
You emphasized on the crime.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Well, he was emphasizing on what he thinks is a poor deployment of police officers to be monitoring traffic when there was a greater need to deal with crime.
Right. Right. But you know, it seems like we fail to understand that crime is one of the main ingredients for these two parties in Jamaica.
I mean, to keep them in power?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
You know what I mean? There's a system that people have even in fear, you know, and concern of what is really happening in Jamaica more than they try to erase this thing, you know. You know what I mean? And we start with the Constitution. The Constitution is a crime against the majority of Jamaican people. That's from 1962. You know,
I can understand you're looking at it that historically gangs and criminal activity fueled the growth of some of the two main political parties have been associated with one gang or another. But as to whether crime itself is an ingredient for maintaining political power, I'm thinking about it, Ras Kremlin, because getting the analysis right is important to getting the right fix. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it a lot of what we're seeing now may be born out of the initial political gangsterism, but it has gone into a whole new, because organized crime now, while there might be some political actors who would qualify to be called criminals,
most of the organized crime is out of their control. They hardly control it, and a deeper analysis would reveal a breakdown in terms of moral values for everybody. Because it is.
You know, under colonialism, you see?
Yes.
What is happening now couldn't be happening there, you know. Where is gangster business and these people are going on, you know.
And we understand that, you know.
You understand me?
Well, a colonial government don't leave space for that, really. A colonial government has such a tight control on some elements of the social structure that you would have to set yourself up as a contending government to even amass a certain amount of weaponry and resources.
What you know? You have a tyranny veto power. One time with Bess about it. Right, when some demonstration with them saying shouldn't demonstrate, some governor out here.
Yeah.
And he demonstrate. And the governor goes to the authority. And with the authority, he must use him veto power and lock up that guy. Listen.
Sound like are you advocating a return to some type of colonial control?
No. What talk? If you fight crime.
Yes.
You want crime to stop. Crime, you don't just come talk.
Well.
You know what I mean? You must put a stop to it. That's why you're there. You're government.
Well, we agree on that.
Right? You must put a stop to it. You understand me? It can't just go on so.
But you see, Ras Kremlin, one of the issues is that the tools that the government has to address crime in a democratic society, as opposed to under a colonial government. In a democratic society, the tools they have are different, because a democracy requires the consensus of the people for certain things to get done, whether it is through parliamentary consensus or you take to the streets and you get your citizens to move, to come along with you. Right now, the citizens
don't trust.
So there's no moving along with the government, and in the meantime, those who profit from criminal enterprise are operating outside the government.
Want to this big thing where this amount of $1 billion from airport or WAF.
Yeah, so now you're drawing another strand into why we are where we are, because who would have access to moving that volume of contraband through an international airport? That is not your regular man on the street who have grab chain.
What are we hearing about it? What is saying?
We have not heard a single update in a long time.
Warm to the season where them that where and people get arrested. What we hear about it?
Such a long time ago, eh? I mean, when they moved the sand in truckloads to another location.
Yeah. One to all them things there. Eh?
Well, but you know,
you cook them with them finding some water and some sea there. Where them say them arrest people.
They've arrested, that's it, they've arrested persons, and that will work its way through the system. But what you're touching on, the magnitude of some of those acts, that is not your man on the corner mobilizing to move a beach. that those are the actions of people with money and access and so on.
Oh, the FBI come in Jamaica now in concern of the American dollars are missing. The vote is concerned.
Yes.
Why these things have to happen? Because Jamaica don't have a proper way of dealing with things. I don't want to deal with it. But it's true the American dollar, you know, and you have to give account to the American dollar, you know.
Well, I mean, you can't.
The Prime Minister and the security man of Jamaica invite FBI here, and them come talk about them write letter and them this and them that. No, this is American currency. America want to know where them dollars there.
Well,
who have them dollars? You think Jamaica government can stop FBI from coming up? Come investigate that?
Yeah. You probably be onto something, my brother. So,
but it's never. We're not trying to show that.
Yes. Yes.
Listen. we in Jamaica, as people, if we don't start to put our foot down, stand up for the right of the country, right, and talk the truth, and boycott when them are put together, right? You understand me?
Yes.
And get this country clean up. Don't depend on them. If we depend on them, we're just going up. I'm more softer thinking stand with them. Them is alright. Them a benefit. Them alright. It's we the people. Right? And we the people have to take a stand. I'm gonna mean go bonfire and Black Road and all of them things that me a talk about and violence. Eh? We have to set up, get some lawyer in a Jamaica to challenge this party system. There's enough evidence is there to show that these people are not working within the majority of the people in Jamaica. And that is what we need. You understand me? And as longer we stay, the worse it all gets. The worse.
Okay.
We have to come together as people.
Yes, sir. You're so right about it.
Alright, one love, my sister.
To you also, my brother.
I'm big up Bess FM.
Alright.
Africa love.
Africa love. Good morning and welcome to the Morning Connection.
Good morning, Mr. Florence.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Pastor. And good morning to Mr. Lawrence. And good morning to all the listeners, home and abroad. The first thing that comes to mind as I look over this issue of SSL is Humpty Dumpty. Humpty Dumpty ran.
Well, you need to repeat it in the cause some people don't know. Humpty Dumpty sat up on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together again.
Exactly.
So the king's men are rallying around the broken shells.
Oh, even more sinister.
Yeah.
You know that this company, Percival, was under the FSC purview for 5 years and 7 months. Where the FSC was in there controlling all the affairs.
Oh, yes, when they were under management.
Yeah, 2000 up to 2017, when everything began, when they removed them. I assume that they were removed with great disgust, you know?
Yeah, but you would think when they remove them, it would be because problem solved.
Precisely. Precisely.
And that's how it usually go.
And they didn't feel that way either. I question from what I'm reading that they were not happy.
No.
And then Mr. McFarlane was appointed, you see, to run the research SSL.
Yes.
And then thereafter, all these companies, these statutory bodies began to pour their funds into this company to pop it up. For what reason, we are yet to know. Even when due diligence would have indicated that this is a company that has been under management for 5 years, it's not a good place to put your money.
Yeah.
If some due diligence was done. So there was no, so all caution was thrown to the wind.
Yeah.
To pop up this organization.
There's a report in the media now, Jamaican Observer.
That's breaking.
Breaking. That during the years 2012 and 2017, Usain Bolt deposited 6.5 million into the
US. It is US.
6.5 million US dollars into his SSL portfolio, and it was removed almost immediately. As soon as the money landed, it was moved out without Bolt's knowledge. So you one of the things that a regulator would be tracking, it almost gonna call it now unexplained wealth, Because if you are taking the reports and the company is anemic, look undercapitalized, and then suddenly they are reporting that they own something in Cayman, they own something in, wherever it is that they're putting the money, because they're not investing it in Jamaican products or securities or initiatives. But if they are suddenly showing you that they have offshore this and offshore that, you should be following the money to see, so where did that money come from?
Which leads to a good question, as you are rightly portraying.
Yes.
From that writer, this report that the statistician, no finance minister,
yes,
did not read.
Yes.
I am almost certain that report also went to the Bank of Jamaica.
Yep.
As a sub. Yes,
or yes, because we have to.
So question must also be asked: did the Bank of Jamaica governor
absolutely
the report too?
And that's why they have something in Ministry of Finance named FID, Financial Investigation Division, to stay on top of the movement of money, because they are very interested in money laundering. They are very interested in how money moves in and out of the country. So you couldn't have a company that is either staying alive but you don't see where the money come from, or getting fat and you don't see where the money coming from. And you have all these agencies that are supposed to be doing their work.
These are other questions.
Yes.
One, I don't want to ask too many questions, but one question about the Mr. Cross-Kerry was fired in what, 2018, let's say?
2018, yes.
Oh, no, I'm seeing that the same individual went to Barbados.
Set up a company.
And set up
in April 2018.
Yeah.
In April 2018, I set up a company called Excelgo.
So let me tell you, man, this thing stinks to high heaven, because, and I'm not saying Mr. Man do anything wrong, but I know in my personal experience in Jamaica, they don't let you go like that. They don't let you go like that. When we were doing carousel, we couldn't pass $1 without every kind of scrutiny. When we submitted our application and said we had the money to do what we're going to do, we had to get a letter from a financial institution saying that they will give us the money, or they have the money to support what we were proposing to do. That is the level of rigor that Jamaican authorities go through when they are assessing you and me.
Okay, that's assessing people of high level melanin.
Yes, people who not supposed to be doing what they're planning to do. You can't get, and I'm not telling you that is no high up official doing it, It's people that look like you and me sitting in their desk doing their jobs.
Usually.
Yeah.
Certainly. And one final observation in my research, I'm just to share with my brothers and sisters. You know that I saw where a contract was given, which to be a car park for 100 park, passing $1.7 billion, $1.8 million for each car space. Think about that.
Yep.
My brother.
Good note to end on. Yes.
Jamaica? No problem.
What a thing.
All right. Thank you.
Have a wonderful day.
You too.
Everybody.
Thank you very much. Good morning and welcome to the Morning Connection. Good morning. Gives me an opportunity to share something I see here from Kev Max says, individual and collective responsibility is where we get up from our knees and stop asking politicians and the PSOJ to do for us what we should be doing for ourselves.
Amen.
Couldn't have said it better. Good morning.
Hi, good morning, Missy.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Welcome.
Yes, I'm great,
Go ahead.
Good morning, wilderness,
Yes, wilderness man.
Yes. You want to I hear talking about organized crime. The government have no control over organized crime.
Yes.
But them control everything. Because
Because you see, the all of this shooting and thing where you used to go on.
Mm-hmm.
And then say, well, then right now, no shooting now, and everybody stop shoot. And I tell them that long time, say, all the Prime Minister have say, all cool long dogs, and it wouldn't come to this. But them was planning to have the bad man and police in the community. And that's why you see them they run at the back and the police and run at the front. So any stray dog come, then get gunned down. So I need to matter right now. No shooting, one order. One order is no shooting. So and it's like the shooting stop. So when the order come and say, start shoot now, you have to shooting. So
have you seen it? Is this
control?
Is you have first-hand knowledge of this, or meaning is that your experience in any area that you're close to or familiar with?
Anything where you hear me, I say, miss.
Yes.
I know what I am saying.
That is what I was just pulling that out.
Let me check out all of my talking.
Yes.
From the beginning till now, from when to now. Everything comes to fact, and who go like them want to hide on it.
Yes.
And feel it. And I tell them, say, all who allow Satan to mislead them and control them, they feel it.
So let me ask you this now.
Let them to play that song continually and regularly.
Which one?
Existence of Jah, but then feel like it.
The Existence of Jah?
Yeah, Existence of God by Dennis Brown.
Existence of God by Dennis Brown. Can find that for me, DJ. Of Jah. Let me ask you this, because there is now, like how we had the Crime Stop hotline or tip line, there is now another one set up to take information on, like that kind of information you give me, that, for example, there is yes. Do you think?
But we can't know them things. I tell them, I say, they know all of them things. Them I tell we know, but we will tell them.
Well, this tip line now, like Crime Stop, takes anonymous information. They take information anonymously, and it goes.
I don't believe them, because if you call them, you whole heap of things you go through.
So it's one of the reasons why I asked you your opinion on it, because I believe, as you say, you are one person who you see the reality of it in plain view. I think many other Jamaicans see it too, and even to share the information. So a massive, when I was on campus, that was the word.
Massive.
A massive could form. Yes.
But I'm going to tell you something.
Yes.
I call the police. Well, I happen to call the police the other day. With the assistant. The police will tell me now, so me to go to the station. And me can go to the station, because if me go to the station, the dog them out, when
yes, you wouldn't make it there.
Yeah. But me can, so me say, come to me assistant. Go to the station. And I will what thing I go to. So me say, at least the police come to know, we supposed to serve and protect and with the protection.
But here now, this line don't require you to even tell them who you are.
Yeah.
I'm hoping Jamaicans will give it a try.
Yeah, me hope so too.
Wait the number again.
It's 888 Mocha Tip. Tips.
Oh, well, all right. I went try out this Mocha.
Test it for me, my brother. Test it for me. Absolutely. I appreciate that.
Yes, what I'm saying, we can long time message, we can just talk, Because you have some people try to rubbish the truth, Because we can't see the good where happen.
Well, you see, and that's why, like, when we say, and I'm glad you volunteer, when we say put some pressure on the system, it's not just the talk now. Because suppose you say you call the people and you leave a tip that say X is going on in my community, and 2 weeks later you see X continuing same way, then you know it's ineffective.
That's what
I'm not hearing the caller anymore. Hello. Good morning.
Good morning, Miss Minett.
Good morning, my brother. You've come in right on the time for the break. Would you just allow us to take the station break, please?
Yeah, man. I'll go.
Thank you very much.
Veteran Printers for all your printing needs. We specialize in calendars, flyers, brochures, and more. Call us today at 968-7506. That's 968-7506. Or visit us at 4 East Bloomsbury Road, off Haggard Park Road. Veteran Printers, your best choice in printing.
He's coming back.
Yes, indeed, it's redemption time with Apostle Clive Campbell, presenting a life-changing, life-challenging message to encourage, inspire, and motivate you towards your destiny. Every Tuesday night from 9:30 p.m. until 12:30 a.m. and on Saturday from 9 o'clock until 10, right here on Bess100 FM. It's redemption time.
I'm standing firm.
What should a taxi service do for you? On-Time Taxi Service is more than just a ride to the other side of town. They offer clean and spacious vehicles, reliable service, and promise to always look out for their customers. They'll come when you call and take you where you want to go on time.
Need a cab from anywhere at all. You can call us on 926-3866.
We are something special on the road.
For a better choice in all your electrical supplies, A, authorized 3M dealer and better brand names. B, better service including free island-wide delivery. C, all major credit and debit cards accepted. It's ABC Electrical Sales. Shop number 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10. Open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. We make your electrical jobs as easy as ABC. Call 754-382-528 or fax 754-3659. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice.
Bess100 FM is the authentic voice of Jamaica, promoting your prosperity with better vibes and better music. Let us promote your goods and services for you. Advertise with us. For more information, call our office at 876-276-8935. That's 276-8935.
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minett and Percy, on The Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Bess100.
It's good, it's better, but nothing beats.
Good morning and welcome. Thank you for holding.
Yeah, good morning.
All right. It's an awful buzz on the line.
I don't hear you.
Go ahead.
Yeah, the first thing I got just know, the people them, you know, say the government don't put in a position to fight crime or to help the people them. So we ourselves have to do that for ourselves. And I think Andrew himself would have hope we do that for ourselves, because in himself knows him can't do it, because what the people know say Andrew is a slave to him. He just a bigger slave, but him still is a slave.
A slave to whom?
A slave to the secret society.
This is a local secret society or the...
No, international local society.
Ah, okay, so he's really a puppet.
Yeah, he's just a puppet. And alright, next thing now, the SLS, what they matter about with the Usain Bolt money thing. It's bigger than enough people think. Very bigger than enough people think. Because, first thing, the bank itself is a secret society bank. It's not run by Jamaica people. It's not run by Jamaica people. It's run by Illuminati and Freemason. So, what really happened is that them tell Usain Bolt to do something and him disagree. So them just move the money from him.
So are you? This is this is based on your direct knowledge.
Hold on, let me finish.
All right.
Sometimes you say do something and then disagree and then move the money from him. And if you notice, the former CEO and the present one said them never know say European gold have an account at the bank. And if you notice again too, the Prime Minister took out seed money that I went saying out of it 2021 in a pandemic and take out seed money out of the bank.
All right, so you have to answer me before you go further, man. You need to tell me if you are saying this speculatively, like this is what you think, or you have some direct knowledge and you are drawing that information from direct knowledge, even though you're not telling us, you know.
Direct knowledge.
This is your direct knowledge.
Yeah, direct knowledge.
Okay, that's.
I follow 20 years. I follow this.
Well, from I hear you say Illuminati and Freemason. I figure that this is something that you have thought about and followed up and watched certain trends.
Yeah, honest thing. Them use people who influential to bring corruption to the world. That is what them do. So if you notice, you know, where the other thing you come out of them say you see and dress up in a frock and something. That's not something you see and did want to do, you know. I force to do that thing. You see, if you notice, you see he's a humble person. And
but it sounds to me now that you're saying that Usain Bolt is somehow involved and under the control of Illuminati and Freemason personalities. Okay. I know that there is a very strong belief in many quarters, local and international, that all persons who attain a certain level of fame and prominence and I know there is that, and they say it is frequently said of entertainers, you know, highly positioned athletes and power brokers and so on. And so that's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next thing again.
Yes.
Next thing again. It's not the Prime Minister invite the SBI to come do it. If them allow them to chase the money, them are going to blow it up and people are going to realize what going. So what them do now, then tell them to them come bleed. And we are going to be really shocking now is the result of when the money find where them are going to tell us it. Because only way, you know, if you see and agree, then you see the money come back. If you don't agree, well, you are going to see him start do something where people are going to wonder. Because what them doing, as I see them use influential person now could bring certain corruption in the world. Artists, runner, all of them way of influence on the world, them use them. So this thing is bigger than just the government and the people in the world.
Well, let me tell you where we are in complete agreement, and we don't need to be paranoid or superstitious people to even understand how this is. There is at the base of everything a struggle that began before you and I came into existence. It is the struggle between good and evil. It is the struggle between right and wrong. It is, you know, the defeated foe Satan thrown to the earth, and he's doing what he's doing. So there are many persons who understand that there's always this tension between pursuing things in a righteous way so it can be permanent, or taking the quick wins and then it comes with a certain amount of pain. So I agree with you from that perspective, because there's always that struggle. You can play now and pay later, or you can do what some of us are doing, make the sacrifice, take the tough decisions, and so you can play later, which for some is eternity. So I understand that within the context of what that you're saying, it within that overall context. But right now, in order for us to take the right actions in our society, we need to not look to the places beyond our control, but look at what is happening in Jamaica and take some decisions on who we can recognize to be the main actors in whatever happened. Whether you're saying does something, make a deal somewhere to get back his money or not, that's not something within our control. He has lawyers and he's giving them instructions, and he might be deep enough in the pocket to say, you know what, I'm going to walk away from this one because I see that the people who should pay me back don't have it, or whatever decision he might make. You know, even me in my humble station in life, I've had to walk away from debts because I saw where it was going and I couldn't invest any more time in it. You pick your fights. But that won't touch or affect what happens in Jamaica in terms of our governance. We have an FSC that had a certain responsibility. It didn't execute well. Do we have the courage to follow that up and hold somebody accountable? We have a lot of money that went missing, even if the money don't come back. When you find out how it went missing, do we have the courage to take action against the persons who handled it? Especially if we find that they are well-connected, powerful political types or business types who continue to be doing business in Jamaica. Do we have the courage to deal with it, regardless of who's pulling strings beyond where? You see what I'm saying? That you can look at the big picture and be overwhelmed by it, or you can pick the little piece that is within your control and deal with it decisively. That's what I am proposing.
Yeah, but what I mean, people who have the courage don't have the position they can do that. That's the problem, you know. People who have the courage,
hey, my brother, listen to me. You have a little piece of courage, me have a little piece. The collective is what's going to work.
Do not.
The collective is what is going to work. No one man have to take it on his shoulders by himself. And social media, technology, the way information can move right now, every man can take a tiny stone and throw it into that puddle. You gotta see it. It will displace the water.
And just because we have another call online, just understand this. If you believe that there's right and wrong, evil versus good, God versus the fallen angel, when you read it, we ultimately prevail, and we win by just taking those small acts,
those little steps,
action, and God says, oh, that's how it is. Because remember, if you look at Daniel and those 3 young men who say you need to worship, because what this thing is about, you need to come and worship at our altar, and them say, no, we know said that wrong and we not worship, and even if in the process we die, we are not going to bow. And I close with you on that note, my brother.
Yeah, one more thing.
Yes.
You didn't say Illuminati give you about the money?
Well, we never know.
No, I don't know that. I don't know.
We don't know.
And let me tell you, the world watched Usain Bolt win in his athletic contest.
Yeah.
See the kind of endorsement he got, know the value of it, and whether he was able to perform at that level of excellence because him pray to God and say strengthen me, or him go somewhere else. What we know and what we see is that he earned it.
Yeah, I mean, never say earn it.
Yeah, right. So however he earned it. But you see, what I'm saying to you now is that we won't be looking at it from that perspective to find our solution, because however he got it, and them say easy come easy go, however he got it, it was put into a system that should have taken better care
of it. That's what we
say. No, them can't take better care. You know, understand me.
The system, my brother, the system that covers him is the same one that covers you with your hard-earned money that you got through legitimate source.
Right,
and that system is ours. So we have to make sure it is in a condition
and it
that it can take care of yours, even if it not take care of his.
So
I understand your point, you know.
But
I hope you understand mine.
All right then. So we have another call online. Blessings.
Thanks very much. Good morning and welcome. No, that's interesting, because there are many. Every secret society gets talked about because it's secret, and people have to speculate what them do that nobody can know.
Well, people have come out of them and tell you what them do. That's why we get some information. But I tell people, I don't make that trouble. I can't. Over there, no man. I'm dealing with what it is, and I said, God, now straighten my hand that I can find.
Good morning and welcome.
Hi, morning, Cruz.
No, that is not good. This Fortis.
Oh, Fortis.
Let us not keep saying Usain Bolt. Forget Mr. Bolt. Mr. Bolt say all right. Him nice. After coming out of the meeting where them had him say cool. Him all right with that. What about the other 30 odd people who
39 people?
Well, you see, so now that's the note.
Let us talk about those people.
And that's the note.
Talking about Mr. Bolt. No, Mr. Bolt nice.
that's the note on which we ended that call. So I'd love that you want to pick up from that point, because the system the system that crumbled should have done better for everybody.
Everybody.
I heard a lady crying, and the lady said she wants to know if God feel her or something, because she's a Christian. And she put in her money in this entity and lose her money. These are where we forget Mr. Bolt can bounce back. Mr. Bolt is a talent person. You know, so he can come out of retirement and go back, go run again, and the blessing we have.
Yes.
Luck, me not deal with luck.
Yeah.
Blessing me deal with.
Yes.
And the blessing we have can make him much more time. Yes, sir. More than we. So let us everybody
focus on the other people them. Yeah.
Get more bold, pastor.
Yeah.
Get more him now, man. Put him aside. Can him come out and make we know say him good, him nice. Him say, you know. But talk about the other people.
We need to get back their money.
The financial sector is fear, and not only that, people coming down by the dozen to take out their money, so they must try win and spin. I don't hear Mr. Nestor Morgan on this one here. Mr. Morgan, what you talk? What is you coming to tell me now? Miss Minett, you can imagine a little man where I save him little money, and when it done, some people take out the I want wicked.
But you know, Fortis is not the first time. You know, I see one of the papers were replaying some FinSac old files and some old thing. It is always the case that the least significant person takes the loss, because those who are well connected, whether through information or politics, they take their money. And sometimes there you go. And usually the case is that the lower people, the smaller people, their money fund the takeout that is going on with those higher up, and those are the things that I am praying.
Miss Minett, I'm well learned, and I can tell you this: we may not have a local election come next month. We may not have it. I don't know if you hear that.
It's not may not have. The EOJ says it's not possible.
Not ready.
And it's not and it's not even about money now, you know. It's about time to train the people to do the election. So
I have called a friend of mine yesterday, see, and he was on a funeral, a family meeting, and I called him back and I said, no, come, I need to talk to him. And when I tell him, he kind of skeptic. So we said, then I paper.
It was in the paper.
But I said it before, you know.
EOJ said, no, on the weekend.
No, but I said it before, that with all of the things, I'm going to call it anyway, but anyway.
Yeah, you know to say that, you know to say that joke. I want the people them sit down. You see, all the kids them that was 20 years ago, they were like 8 and 5, and you know, they come up and now they are looking, they are seeing the real deal now. This is the real deal face now. You can have your money in the bank and save, and then just take it away and spin and tell you a whole bag of things. These things that they are telling you is nonsense. Nonsense.
Yeah.
We have a minister who's supposed to have see that things go right. What is he doing? I hear another radio station and the note at the end, and I didn't finish. So when Mr. Rory can call him Mr. Pinnock, when they take him out of the house, have shit over their head, and all of that. If I was down in the get out, if it's down in the get out, you see, them go down there, ramsack place and dig up and take you from under bed. But them
and carry out in your underwear. Please remember they did that to some youngster.
And you have to sign Nally to get for what the people them also go search it. And Nally is a power of authority for going to your house and dig up and search. I'm telling you this, we're in a sad time. And I'm telling you something. People who can pray. We have the Father, we have a powerful anthem.
Yes.
Father, bless all that. Let me tell you, prayer, because trust me, these people, morning again. Yes, man.
Story, as one of the other callers said, the chickens are coming home to roost. So let's not try to shoot them while they're in mid-flight. Let's see where the roost is.
all I asking now, forget about Mr. Boat now, because him say I'm cool, him alright. Him say, him not broke. Him say I'm not broke.
Yeah, he's not broke. We know that.
It is the other people who...
About the other people, the other people who's crying, who meet some of them may go. Pastor, there was a man in Marvel.
Yeah.
Him do trading, US trading, and him that do well, cause him that do well and him buy cars and start, step up. And one day him a trade 15,000 US on the stock market, and him seat like an hour ago, and then after that it missing. And you know him do? Him go downstairs and get a nice dinner, lobster and them thing there, and jump through and win there. You never hear about it?
When was that?
Yeah, a couple of years ago. About 5 years ago. People know of it.
Oh, yes.
Just jump through the window.
I remember, yeah.
Just jump through a window and say, I hit that 15,000 US.
For 15,000 US, yeah.
It just gone for him, no went down. It just missed up on the stock market. And him did a search, that him couldn't search him. Him just got eat a good food and just jump. So, all right. Enough for me, no?
Yes.
Right.
That is...
But, but I like what Fortis has said. What about the other people?
Yeah.
What about the other people? And you raised the important point. The system.
That's what I'm concerned about.
The system has failed us, and the system were being administered by people who we put our trust in. Remember, that's where I started this morning. Is that a shifting happening? But people,
that's it. Don't kill the birds while you see them flying to
that
their
was
roost.
interesting.
We want to know where the roost is. And I think some birds gonna be taken out in midair. Good morning and welcome.
Hi, pleasant good morning, Queen. Greetings to you. Everything good?
Everything is as it should be.
How are you?
Good morning, Pastor. I'm here trying to watch and see what's going on in my world. And I see so much evil going on in my little country, Jamaica. I don't know where to begin. But the first thing I want to ask Jamaican people, when me I read, when me I hear, when me I watch, when me watch the news first night, over 13 years long this robbing business going on in the SSL, 13 years. Then where the financial minister was before, and before. Who was in charge before this minister took over? So why is it that now them saying 13 years with I say no, thief in a guanded all these times? And nobody never realized, and you're telling me so the minister, the finance minister of Jamaica saying get the report, but him overlook, meaning he see it but he not pay no mind.
Well, he saying never see it. He came into his office but was not.
That's impossible for you to get something and you don't see it. Come on. hey, people in Jamaica don't know what to do with themselves. But I honestly tell you now, me blame the whole of you. You know why me blame you? When me I go to school, me get a sticky mean wrong. X mean sticky mean right, X mean wrong. Hey, everybody have voter mark X. So when you realize how wrong you do. When you never realize what you do. Now look at the condition of Jamaica people, them salary. Look at how much money them people are make. And look how much thief in a guan while Jamaica people hand a pay and I go through so much hardship with them picnic to go school, daycare center, this, that, and nobody care. No government no care. Neither PMP nor labor right. So let me ask a question. What would I do with the two of them? Is a name brand? As can to PMP and labor right? Is all this is? A name brand? They destroy one another? Take disadvantage of the poor? And the rich are always climb the ladder, and nobody care about the little poor man. You have a question for you, because I never know how it go. The tax we're collecting in Jamaica.
Yes.
Is it true that the royal family, what they call the Queen of England, is she responsible for the tax?
No, she's not. If she is, it's well hidden from all Jamaicans.
Okay, because I hear one story, I said, we don't deal with the years and the story thing.
No, man. Right? It goes into a consolidated fund that is administered by Jamaican officials.
And what them do with it? What them do with all of them money there? Alright, the next thing we want to know. All of them drug lords and drug dealers can't to them. Yes. They take where all of them money from. And all of these things where them take where and possess. Where them the money go? Where them do? Where them fix? 3/4 of the road of Jamaica in a terrible condition. Street light in a terrible condition. The water system again in a terrible condition. And before we go any further, I have one solution to ask Jamaica people. The people who are responsible for the water, remember, people work from Monday to Saturday. Sunday is the only day them home. And in a every day yesterday, one day Sunday, no water. Around after 8, 9 o'clock last night, water come back. So all these people have just that one day for watch them kids school uniform and wash their clothes and extra and do what them have to do. And you turn off the water whole day till night. We kind of slackness are going in a Jamaica country. And nobody knows, since you want to turn off all day, you have to pay a fee. We don't still charge the people them fee. They kind of crooked and corrupted governmental principle now running a Jamaica country. I tell you no once, I tell you no twice, and I'm telling you 3 times. Me a turn Jamaica country upside it down. And when me done with it, a lot of you are going to regret it. Because you know, keep on thieving poor people money so we get away with it. You cannot keep on taking disadvantage of Jamaican people. I want every Jamaican to read Isaiah 34. Isaiah chapter 34. Because when God said, I'm mad, upset with the government of Jamaica who take disadvantage of the people of Mount Zion, the Israelites, which is Jamaican people. So if you don't think so, you not going to get away with all the corruption and no evil, you not going to think again. Go read Isaiah chapter 34. You don't know we know. You know, what we know him, when I'm got to go work that out. Because when you take disadvantage of the Jamaican people and pay them, treat them like they're not human, when you take disadvantage of everything, every sector rob. Every sector robbing the people.
All right now, my brother, so are you pronouncing judgment? I hear that. Like Percy and I are now trying to get the people into the mode of repentance. So the judgment that you have pronounced can either be delayed or averted altogether, because there's always a path to redemption.
Yeah, but the path to redemption is none of these people now repent.
No, they are not. They are not. But part of our responsibility is to hold them accountable and pull them down. And the fault becomes ours if we fail to do it. So that's the path we're working on.
I like the part that we use. I like that. We need to get them responsible. Get them out.
Get them out. Yes, that's our job.
Look at the Prime Minister right now and the Financial Minister. It's like 2 loggerhead mud together. You know, 2 loggerhead mud, the peed of, what the bird name?
I don't know the birds.
Right, the other one. They're not care nothing about the citizen them.
Yeah, but we're seeing it. We're seeing it. We're seeing it.
And Bunting, one of them was in an investment company before Nung. And Nung, when you look at what's going on now with this Ministry of Health, Finance and now, and all these years, SSL led it, and they rob people money, and then nobody no see it behind.
Nobody's, yes, yeah.
The news.
Yeah.
So, my brother, you are entitled to ask every question and to be skeptical of what we're hearing now, and that's why it becomes our responsibility.
To talk it out, to call it out.
Because that SSL spans several finance
and to
ministers.
Administration,
yeah.
2010.
Yeah, but it didn't just start in the amount of poor people get all of that, so yeah. Them about the home trust money, and nobody not here.
That's why, yeah, that's why we have to use, that is why we have to use this as a good opportunity to pull apart and look and fix what need to fix. Thank you, my brother.
All right, then.
People can't get down, come on, man. They can rob the poor people the money so much.
All right, sir. We have to do what we need to do. Thank you very much.
Yeah, man.
You too.
You know,
yeah, go ahead.
It's just, you hear the heartbreak into his voice, even as he's saying.
As he pronounced judgment on us.
Yeah.
Good morning and welcome.
Welcome, caller.
Good morning.
Somebody Shaggy sang it wasn't me.
Yeah.
And then there's the other song that comes to mind, me no know. We and them are go work it out. You know, remember
okay, so they're saying it wasn't me. And we are saying we don't know. Oh, we
and them are go work it out.
Somebody has very kindly put 10 things you should know about Mr. Tomlinson and his company. One of them looked wrong to me though. I don't remember Kenneth Tomlinson as a temporary manager for Cash Plus. Good morning and welcome. Good morning. Welcome.
No, the person coming on the break too. Hello. Good morning.
I'm here.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, my brother.
Solutions,
Yes,
man.
Mr. Solutions
man.
One thing me have to tell you.
Yes.
I have a feeling them belly full enough. Somebody belly full enough so them don't care if they must do
So them belly full?
Them belly full.
Yes.
Somebody belly full so them don't care like them if Jamaican people want to put them somebody belly full.
Okay.
One of them belly full.
Well, the amount of money, it must be that it's in your belly, because there's nothing in Jamaica to show where that money went, and so I guess it must be overseas.
If you notice all the environments that are, it's like a finance that don't care in belly full, and then the man don't know in belly full. So whenever when Adisha going, amount of money going to go see the PMP letter. That's what phone bill are to all $8 million. Can you imagine?
Well, I don't know. That one is a little deeper than just being careless with personal expenses, because this you understand that for this to have happened without anybody knowing, it would mean that your intermediaries in your office, your section chief, head of department, whatever you call them, who would be on the front line to receive certain information and push it up towards you, it would mean all of that brought down, or it would mean they all know and they're all lying. Yes.
What do you mean like code of conduct?
Oh, well, remember now, the Integrity Commission just proposed a code of conduct but nobody signed up to one or followed any until the Integrity Commission sent around one, I think is December or November.
Yeah. And the PMP has signed off.
Yeah, but can you hold my brother, because I got the signal for the station break. It's 9:31.
All right.
Thank you very much.
What should a taxi service do for you? On-time taxi service is more than just a ride to the other side of town. They offer clean and spacious vehicles, reliable service, and promise to always look out for their customers. They'll come when you call and take you where you want to go on time.
From anywhere at all, you can call us on 926-3866.
We are something special on the road.
Veteran Printers for all your printing needs. We specialize in calendars, flyers, brochures, and more. Call us today at 968-7506. That's 968-7506. Or visit us at 4 East Bloomsbury Road, off Haggard Park Road. Veteran Printers, your best choice in printing.
For a better choice in all your electrical supplies, A, authorized 3M dealer and better brand names. B, better service including free island-wide delivery. C, all major credit and debit cards accepted. It's ABC Electrical Sales, shop number 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10. Open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. We make your electrical jobs as easy as ABC. Call 754-382-528 or fax 754-3659. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice.
Looking to clean your vehicle super clean? 123 Clean Car Wash, located at 2 1/4 Osborne Road, Kingston 10. Entrance on Grove Road, below Tropical Battery. They wash and vacuum, undercarriage wash, engine wash, polish and compound, shampoo and detailing. Call them at 876-631-3400. 123 Clean Car Wash, the best in the business for a cleaner wash.
1, 2, 3, believe me, it's so easy. 1, 2, 3.
Praise the Lord, praise the Lord. God is good. This is already pastor and friend, Reverend Simon Peter Jones, inviting you, my friends, to listen every Tuesday evening on Bess100 FM at 7:30 p.m. for the program, The Voice of Hope, as we extend hope to the hopeless in this dying world. God is good. Be encouraged. Hope is in the Lord.
Hey, what's up? It's your girl, Lady Lee, the queen of the South, and I'm inviting you all to trailblaze with me on the best of the best radio station, the Bess100 FM, Mondays through Thursdays, 2 to 5 p.m. You can't afford to miss it on your airwaves. Yes! Trailblaze with Lady Lee right here, Mondays to Thursdays, 2 to 5 p.m. on the best of the best, Bess100 FM.
Jamaica, we're going up and not under. No more slaves any longer. We were once weak, but now we are stronger, stronger, stronger. Join me, Darren Chosen Smith, Mondays to Thursdays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. inside Lifted, right here on Bess100 FM, 100.1 to 100.9 FM. Tune in and be informed, motivated, entertained, and spiritually lifted. Your weekdays will never be the same again. Mondays to Thursdays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. inside Lifted on Bess100 FM, 100.1 to 100.9 FM with yours truly, Darren Chosen Smith. Tune in and be lifted.
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minett and Percy, on The Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Bess100 FM.
It's good, it's better, but nothing beats.
Well, solutions, man.
Oh no.
He's gone?
Yes, that call was finished. But he was I don't he was making a point about
somebody
those in charge, and just being uncaring. Wow. I pray that it is not so.
Is it becoming like me now?
Well, this is a time when the information is gonna come out one way or another.
Yeah, that is
Stay ahead of it then. Good morning and welcome. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Welcome, sir.
Refreshing to you both as usual, yes.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, my brother. How are you? What's on your mind today?
Yes, and there are two I want to discuss. The second two statement that two city ministers I want to discuss. The second two statement that two city ministers made last week.
Yes.
For me, they are very disturbing and concerning. And the essence of them I'll be trying to bring up as brief as possible. The first one from Mr. Wamston, pertaining to a statement made by Mr. Bruce Golden.
Yes.
From Mr. In relation to the bank saga there.
Yeah.
So, saying that the government dropped the ball. And I didn't believe the other particular statement. No, he's been bashed by Mr. Warmington for making such statement.
Yes, and man, and spoken.
And I remember I called the program about some weeks back, and I made a statement. I said that our politicians need to put national interest first.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that statement from Mr. Golden, this is national interest.
Yes.
So, in my humble opinion, Mr. Warmington is still in his ignorance and in the dark. And I'm not going to what he to discuss much what he called Mr. Golden, that Mr. Golden is a failure. And
man, he disparaged Mr. Golden. And yes.
But one of the most profound statement he made that disturbed me was when he said that the JLP is his party, and the Prime Minister, and Jones is his Prime Minister, and he will stand by him by what any means necessary. He will stand by him. And that statement, for me, can be determined, can be analyzed in most extreme way. That in spite of that means if Mr. Hollis is doing something that is not in the interest of the government.
Yes.
I don't know. Of the country per se, and is for the people, whatever. In spite of that, Mr. Warmington decided to back him and to stand by him. That's what he said. He said to stand by by his Prime Minister.
Yes.
Any means necessary. Necessary.
That's so cultish.
Well, and at least we know where he stands, so we can deal with him when the time is right. And just so I'm not gonna be shy like you, I'm gonna repeat what was said. Mr. Warmington said, "It's a guy who has lost his relevance and is trying to be relevant, but by attacking your own party, that no make you relevant." And I want to say, Bruce needs to stop it and stop it now. Back off, thundered Warmington during a tour of the Northeast St. Elizabeth constituency.
Yes, rightly so. So that's a very, and we don't have politicians like those as ministers, governing people, where it's really in a very bad state. Honestly.
Yeah. And what Mr. Golding had said,
government must take responsibility. That's what he must say.
Yeah, he says when government issue licenses, what the government are saying to the public is that I'm satisfied that these are good people to do business with, so you can do business with them. Well, that is what Usain Bolt did, and look what happened to him. Many people are saying it. It's not unique to Mr. Golding.
And just briefly, the Finance Minister said the same thing. He said that both administration fell down because it was one term in the former administration and 2 terms in the present administration.
Yes.
Yes, and Mr. Nigel Clark said the same thing as Mr. Golding. He said the government fell down there. He said that. So so Mr. Golding didn't say anything wrong. You understand? He was speaking in
he was putting and he was saying what all of us are thinking and what is true and fair. Yeah.
So Mr. Warmington is prepared to put his party first and the Prime Minister first. And as he said, he will prepared to stand by him but in the military.
Well, I'm looking at it. He accused Bruce of sniping or snipping. He said, "You keep on snipping, and it's an attack indirectly on my Prime Minister, my government and party, and I will defend the Jamaica Labour Party, Andrew Holness administration, and Prime Minister Andrew Holness by any means necessary."
Very sad. Very sad disturbing for me. Very, very sad. And part of it coming from a sitting minister that is governing us.
Yes.
And a senior minister too.
You're very right, sir, to emphasize the fact that he continues to be a senior member of government and he has a portfolio that is very, very critical to the well-being of this country, and how he administers his job comes up now for discussion when you see him making it so clear that the people of Jamaica are not in his purview at all.
Yes, at all. So we'll move on to the following statement because in the sense of time.
Yes.
The other minister that made a very disturbing statement is Justice Minister Delroy Chuck.
Yes.
I heard him on a program being interviewed. And he was on the subject of the 40 here sentence.
Yes.
He was quick about that. He was asked about that. 40 years for
murder.
Moving from 20 years or whatever up to And when the viewer asked him that, well, those are going to that long term. No, with the impact of space. Remember, I called about the space problem there about.
Yes.
I call you.
Yes.
And the viewer asked him, so what will be those going to the long term in that with the space? When,
prison capacity.
The capacity. Mr. Chuck's response was that, well, they do the crime, so they will have to serve it by whatever means, meaning that whether human condition are there or not, we have to serve it. No, remember I mentioned to you that when Mr. Minister made a statement about 2 weeks back that funds were identified to
build a new prison.
Yes. And I said to you about the part that I sincerely hope that it's going to be another moving goalpost.
Yeah.
Yes, I remember.
No, from what I hear from Mr.
Chuck.
Mr. Chuck, it's in a different tune. He was being he said that until funds is identified, and he went on to say that Jamaica has one of the lowest prison population in the third world country. Tamarind farm is underpopulated, and it was going on and on. And so, in those statements, meaning that it is a moving goalpost.
Yes.
It's defending
It's
by saying that Jamaica went to the population in the two countries and Tamarind farmers are populated and whatever. And then he went on to say that until funds are identified, they will have to stay there. And the Prime Minister said funds were being identified and it is now on the blueprint, if I know. But he's in a different tune. So in my humble opinion, it will continue a moving goalpost.
Yes.
Which is the most profound statement that Mr. Chuck made in that interview. He said that
Tamarind farm empty.
Yes. It's unpopulated. And then he said that a number of prisoners now are out on parole that shouldn't be on parole, but because of space they are out on parole. I thought very disturbing statements that. That's what you said.
Yes. Yeah, I was trying to find it. I'll look for it and then maybe another morning we can touch it again.
Out on parole.
Yes.
And so and then when he realized the truth of his statement, he said, but they are closely monitored.
Yes.
Deception.
Yes.
Monitored by whom?
Well, listen, man, that's a whole other discussion there that you're talking about. Because if the minister meant to withdraw, giving the impression that dangerous people are on parole because of space issue, but he's still very anxious to crowd it up with new people. That is, we do need to refine and have a healthy discussion on our policy for rehabilitation, for managing the human rights issues that arise when people are poorly kept in government custody. All right, my brother, I gotta go because we have one more call and we need to. Yes. All right, thank you. Oh, the call went, but it gives us time to have a little chat.
But that's
before
so
we
interesting.
Yeah.
The man said he don't fret about the.
You don't care how they're gonna be housed. Let's just convict them and keep them for longer.
No, but we have space. That's it. I'm saying we have space.
We don't have space.
No, but that's what he was saying.
Yeah. But he was he's not saying we have space, He's saying we have amongst the lowest prison population in the region. So not saying we have space. He's saying given all that's happening in Jamaica, wouldn't you be surprised to hear that we have one of the lowest prison population? When we are going with so much. So good. So he's saying convict them because it's more important to get them before the courts than to be worrying about overcrowding. He said another disturbing thing that I was discussing with you. He's quoted as saying something about free mentality, Jamaicans and free mentality causing domestic violence over deadlift.
Oh
yes,
it was talking to people need to write in wills.
And said put about writing will as if a will has ever stopped people from feuding over land. Yeah. But it's just to say he's missing the point completely if he thinks that deadlift is free.
Oh.
Can't ask the prodigal son and him brother.
No, deadlift is not free.
Deadlift is not free.
It's a cost to somebody.
Listen to me. Many people spend years working in family business and on family land, only to discover at the day of reckoning that somebody else is stepping in to take it. Whether it is the new young wife, or some other child that you never know about, or your father no leave no will and a pure confusion, or your mother no leave no whatever it is. But
it is not.
It's not.
And even
it's not freedom mentality that cause people to get upset when family members don't treat the disposition of their assets fairly.
Man, foot and mouth disease.
Conrad just gave me a cheerful word. He said, "Thanks, Minett, for your time in government. You make Saint and proud again." Ah.
Time in government.
But can I tell you though, when I talk about, no, because I think he may be referring to the advisory work that I've done, I realize I know so much about the inner workings that when I make a comment on something, it is an informed comment, whether even if they stop doing it that way, still it was done in that way, and some of the dangers are so apparent.
Yeah.
Let's see. I need to read this one for myself before you guys talk while I read this one that Conrad has sent. I don't want to just read it out loud and discover that it shouldn't be read out loud.
No, but even as we do, in the papers yesterday, the year in review, there's a document that was put out by the government. It's paid for, nice, pretty, designed by the Jamaica Information Service. Some good things have happened, but I get a sense that you can have PR, public relations.
It's well timed PR. So let's not give it any coverage right now. No. We need to focus on our I don't know. Yeah, I just heard that horrible noise on the line. So all right, I can share with you what Conrad said. Conrad said every time JLP get caught, on a disappointed JLP come and talk about both JLP and PNP. Remember how much noise was made for Goat Island project? Where is the noise now for all these damage done to Jamaica? It is maybe it is to the PNP's credit that their supporters and themselves don't make a heavy political noise about some things that are of national interest. But it is true. The JLP are always very strident, take to the street, shake the walls when there's something on the PNP side. But when the JLP, and I remember hearing somebody say, well, maybe it's just that the PNP people are way more civilized and reasonable. They're not burning tires and tearing down the gates because somebody has been caught doing something wrong. But the truth is, we need to stir up a sense of righteous indignation
in terms
and don't let the thing go by because
become a 9-day wonder.
Don't let it become a 9-day wonder, man.
Because I am saying, and I will say this, the Minister of Finance must be held responsible for what has happened in the sector. He's now in charge, and even though they have said it across, as somebody rightly said, most of what has taken place with SSL is under their watch 2 terms. Yeah.
Well, guess what happened? The cleaning of the house is taking place now. Now. And we want to be included. Each citizen need to take a broom, a mop, whatever it is that you can handle and do your part. I'm going to end where I started. Say what you know, because the salvation of this nation lies in people fighting for truth, honesty, transparency, and men and women being courageous enough to take their hits when they're found out and do the necessary acts of repentance so we can move forward.
True.
Or else all of we going to go where Ras was telling us, him said judgment upon Jamaica, call down judgment. Some people are of the Jonah mentality. They want to see punishment rain down on the guilty parties.
And when the people turn,
they don't want to see the people turn.
And then God, in His infinite wisdom, say, all right, you go on another tree, watch me and you. Make you understand how this thing work. I'm a merciful God. If people turn,
I am merciful.
I am merciful.
So we are crying out. We, the two of us, we don't have the Jonah spirit. We want to see people hear the warning, turn, and just leave something.
Do right.
Yeah. All right, that's a good note, I think.
Was talking about 2 songs. 2 songs came to my mind. Was talking producer, one of them, man, because I did not the head when me say it.
All right, well, let us say goodbye. So Lloyd can play the first song and you can remember what your second song is. All right, thank you everyone for sharing with us this morning. We're grateful for the support and the one last note coming with a whole heap of fire from Conrad. Conrad said the finance minister must go. Prime Minister is now going to have to answer to insider trading. And we do have insider trading
laws in our country.
Laws in our country. And the code of conduct, which hopefully, whether they sign it or not, we will all use those standards to hold them accountable. Interesting times ahead. Have a great day, everyone. Tomorrow, Pastor's birthday is on Thursday. This is Pastor Percival. Let me say it out from now. Those who are going to sing, do your rehearsal, because the producer will cut the line on any bad singing. But we're looking forward to celebrating with Pastor on Thursday.
Outside.